This week's show is brought to you in part by Leesa. Leesa is an innovative direct-to-consumer online mattress brand that is also socially conscious. For every 10 mattresses Leesa sells, they'll donate one to a shelter through their 110 program. Not to mention, with a patented universal adaptive feel, TM, Leesa is designed for all types of sleepers. And now, Leesa's expanded its offerings to include the Leesa pillow, blanket, foundation, and frame. Try a Leesa mattress in your own home for 100 nights risk-free. It's available in the US, UK, Canada, and Germany. You get it online, free shipping. It's a 100% American-made mattress that ships compressed in a box right to your door. Or if you're in New York or Virginia Beach, you can try it at the Leesa Dream Gallery. It's in Soho, or, Virginia Beach, and over 80 West Elm stores nationwide. You can get $100 off when you go to leesa.com/bombcast. That's leesa.com/bombcast.
Hey, it's Tuesday, January the 2nd, 2018.
Welcome back.
I can't believe I'm saying that. It's the first podcast of the rest of our lives.
Yes.
Here we go.
Here, Giant Bomb. Jason A. Striker is starting the new year off right.
It's 11:06, and they said at 11 o'clock, Arcade Shock would have these new buttons available. They're beautiful. These buttons. They got chrome plungers.
Age-old tradition.
But yeah,
the new year arcade stick buttons.
Yeah, the 2018 buttons are here.
I think.
New year, new
man.
me.
Yeah,
it's actually a tradition that began in pagan times.
Right. That's how we celebrate.
Everybody gets naked, stands around the fire,
dances
starts
around the fire, and presses the arcade. They used concave buttons though back then.
I like those big Stone Age buttons.
Yeah.
The ones that just carved out of the top of a rock. You know when you feel that one.
Right.
It's got a good mouth.
You hit the rock harder, you actually hit the button.
Yeah, they're analog.
Yeah, analog, old school.
Bats, not balls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
I'm a bat guy.
Yeah, bats are fun.
Yep.
Balls are fine too.
I don't have a preference.
I like a good ball, like every now and again. You got to hold it like a wine glass.
What is
I don't do
Pac-Man's a ball, right?
Yeah, Pac-Man. Yeah, the early '80s. It was early '80s American arcade machines were balls.
When it was like 2-way or 4-way.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the only way you get.
I like a good 4-way.
Sure.
I mean, not for fighting game.
Yeah,
obviously,
sure.
which I know is what
Just
you're
as a
doing here, but-
lifestyle choice.
And you can do that still. You can get a good restrictor plate underneath and just make it 4-way.
I wish somebody would make a good thing that you could just stick on top of your stick, so you could turn your 8-way into a 4-way or a 2-way.
That's kind of what it is,
Yeah,
but
it
it's
just
a
goes on
little
the
more
bottom.
inside, right? You kind of have to
don't have to
bust
take
open
it
the
apart.
stick and turn a thing.
I don't have to lift something and turn.
Yeah.
Man, it's like 6 screws. You're fine.
I don't need Allen keys.
If it screws, then it's already too much. I'm
Yeah.
out now as well.
Yeah.
I
Jeff's
wanna
a sane
yeah.
person.
I'm gonna lock it down to a 2-way because what if you want to play some Galaga?
It's possible.
Fuck yes.
The answer is actually I can use a D-pad or a joystick with no restrictors at all to play games like that. It's not actually that hard. It's not the same, but it's not that bad.
If you want to burn those corners in Pac-Man, you need the restrictor plate.
Yeah,
You want those sparks.
If I was putting real money into a machine, then absolutely.
Yeah.
But when arcade games are now free to play everywhere,
and your time is worth
you are
something,
not putting
Jeff.
quarters in, then
Did Billy Mitchell need the restrictor plate?
Look, Billy Mitchell only plays on official, real hardware that has absolutely never been hacked under no circumstances whatsoever.
Is he still the?
Billy Mitchell's a lot of things.
He's still the guy.
Okay.
He's the number one hot sauce champion of Central Florida.
Truly. His many labels prove that.
Yeah.
Is there a new Pac-Man record to be set, or it was a perfect Pac-Man game?
No,
right?
yeah, there was no
nowhere-
realistic
there's
way
nowhere-
to score any more points.
There's
than
nowhere to
that,
go
so,
from there.
Yeah, it's kind of done.
He's the guy.
Yeah.
I have to know, are they limited edition? Are they custom?
So I missed out on the first
sell?
time they brought out the matte style ones that I was freaking out about a number of months ago. I missed the sales on those the first couple times. They sell out right away.
I guess what I'm asking is, do they make them in such a limited quantity that
Probably
you have to get in?
Yeah, and these are all import.
Okay.
So they're
okay.
Yeah.
So get them now or they're gone.
But pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
And they'll get more stock, but we don't know when. And I ain't waiting months, man. I want them now.
Where are these buttons?
Want them now.
Where are they going? In an existing stick?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not going to build a new stick.
I'm not ready yet.
Not yet.
No,
No.
not yet.
No
I've got enough. I've got enough like old sticks that I can still kind of gut.
Okay.
And
Not ready
use
for a
those.
2018 stick.
It might be time.
Yeah.
It might be time.
Yeah.
I got to teach Griffin at some point,
That's true.
right?
You have to pass on.
He's probably about ready, right?
pass
He's
on the
3
old ways.
almost.
He's
Three.
2. He's 2, but he's ready. I think.
Three is when like Mario came into our lives.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mhm.
He's.
I mean, she was terrible. She's really bad, but she's like the worst video game player I've ever seen.
He
no
likes
skills.
watching Tekken.
Yeah.
But he's still at the age right now where I can put something in front of him, like an
Yeah.
arcade stick, and he can bang on it and think that he's doing stuff.
Rock band drums are good at that age.
Oh man, that's a
Yeah.
really good idea.
Yeah.
Mm.
Actually, no, that's
No, I was gonna say that.
You can put headphones on him. It's
okay.
fine.
There we go.
He has to start learning soon, though.
All right,
You're going to have to apprentice him to the village sticksmith.
Arcade Shock. You got one more chance. I'm gonna refresh and then
And then you're giving up.
Yeah.
Wow.
God
Dream
damn
is dead.
No?
nothing.
Is it
I'll
gone?
check. I'll check in.
This
No,
is-
they haven't shown up yet.
Oh, they never. Okay. Never even
This-
posted. All right.
this-
Okay,
this-
now we can podcast. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Let's start.
Hello. It's 2018.
Oh,
Hey, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year
To everyone here
Yes.
in the studio. What's
That's
going
right.
on?
you too, Brad.
Who's got resolutions? Who's got
Oh,
goals?
I'm just gonna be
4K,
worse.
baby.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's my resolution.
no.
Yep.
That's
I made that resolution, and yeah,
Is it working out?
it's pretty much working out. Yeah, I got the Xbox One X.
Okay.
I got a PS4 Pro. Got that
Okay.
super cheap.
Yeah.
And then I got one of those TCL like 55-inch
Ooh.
4K TVs
Yeah.
for like $500.
It's got, it's got like a Roku built in there.
Yep.
That's pretty nice.
Fantastic. I like it a lot.
You
So
feel like
yeah,
it has more P's than your old TV did?
I think so. Yeah, I immediately saw a difference. My wife, of course, who still under sticker shock, was like, I don't see.
Does
the
it have the
difference."
HDRs? That seems
got-
like the
yep.
big deal.
Yep. This particular model does have the HDRs.
I went over to Gary's house and he got one of that. He got that LG TV that I think you got.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, that's an OLED. though.
Fucking
you mean-
hell.
yeah.
The
You mean-
OLED HDR
See, I-
baller TV?
yeah.
Sorry, I know. I don't mean
mean
to-
HQ Trivia winning
Yeah, champion.
famous writer Gary.
Did he?
Two-time
Yes.
winner.
Yeah.
Two?
Twice?
Twice. He
Gary
won $4 and then $117.
Yeah, he won actual money.
Wow.
Like,
His-
that's not a cup of coffee. Like, that's, you can
Yeah.
buy some stuff.
It's
with.
like a few cups of coffee.
Yeah.
I don't want to
Like civet coffee
six
at
or
that
seven.
point.
I don't want to narc on anybody, but his wife texted my wife after he won and was like, "Oh, great, he's won again. I'm never gonna stop hearing about this."
Ugh.
Yeah. So
Huh.
we had a good chuckle.
Yeah. They just launched on Android, I saw.
Yeah. If you want to get some free codes, there's a lot more Android people out there ready to go. So hit
Oh,
your referral
right,
codes
yeah.
out there now. This is
They- From what I saw, they launched on Android. They had their highest prize pot ever, and I think there was maybe one other thing that factored
massive
into
failure.
The
the
game
fact that
broke
the game
completely again.
exploded
Oh,
and burned
no.
to the ground.
It was so. Did you either of you so they did this on New Year's Eve? It launched on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
They did like a Dick Clark's Rockin' New Year's Eve style trivia show at I think 9:45 or 8:45 Pacific.
Wait, 15 minutes before New
11:45
Year's.
Yeah,
Wait,
11:45 Eastern.
Scott literally had to spend his New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
I'd say he was probably compensated
His
fairly
bell
as an
drop?
independent contractor.
Happened on the set.
Yeah.
So they did it. They started running the trivia with time, like with the idea, I think, that the show was going to end right as New Year's hit. And then
Like they had motion graphics and stuff
Oh.
set up for New Year's. Like they had it stuff.
like a
he rented a
countdown
tuxedo.
Yeah.
Like
Wow.
it was
Yeah.
fancy. It was legit. And then just the questions never showed up. But that didn't stop him. Like he just kept pushing on, and
Interesting.
He stalled for time, yeah?
No, he just kept reading the questions, even though and telling the answers, even though nobody could see the questions or the
Wow.
answers. And it was just like a slow motion, amazing train wreck. And then, like they get all the way to the point that it's New Year's on the East Coast, and he's just. He basically is like, "Fuck it, guys. Let's give me my New Year's script. We're gonna do this." And he did his whole like Dick Clark, Ryan Seacrest, like, "Hey, inspirational speech
Yeah,
before the
yeah.
New Year's thing." It was really good. It was really like I've come completely around on Scott. I didn't like him at first, but I'm okay with Scott
Yeah,
now.
he seems like the only one coming out of this. It seems likely that he will be the only one that comes out of this like benefiting from it. Like I can't help but think that like that HQ is just going to crash and burn and be replaced by something else. That
I've
was not-
actually, I don't know if you may
That might
gotten
have
this.
more money.
You may have gotten this as well,
or
but
not be founded by people that
Yeah.
people don't want to fund.
I got PR outreach from another trivia app before Christmas.
I get when HQ first started taking off, I had like other trivia apps on Twitter going like, "We've been doing this."
That's
and I was
literally
like,
what this
"All
was.
Fucking
It
great.
literally was like, "Hey, we launched 6 months before these guys. We're the original trivia app."
Congratulations!
Yeah.
You should
Were
hire
they giving
Scott.
away
I guess
cash?
I don't know.
Everybody, I don't.
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
don't
look
know.
into it too much, but people are trying to ride the coattails pretty hard right now.
Or trying to say they were there first and that sort of stuff.
Yes, they
It's been
they
interesting
invented the
watching-
radical concept of trivia before HQ did.
I don't know, man. I like HQ, even though the people who are the founders seem to be shitty.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And they often get questions wrong.
Right.
And
And that's what I'm
Do
saying.
they
Is
really?
like the
Oh, wow.
stage
Yeah.
is set for someone to step in, hire Scott, and launch a thing. Like
you think
find
Scott's
him,
the key?
I think like in these early days, absolutely, you could eventually get that thing hosted. Like the idea of hosted trivia on your phone or wherever on the internet, whatever, like can be done.
Well, he's
Hard to scale, apparently.
Once again,
Yeah,
one
but-
versus 100 was way ahead of its time.
Right.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
Yeah. Oh, I missed that.
it's funny because like I've been talking about this kind of stuff for a while because it's like this is obvious VR stuff, right?
Right, yeah.
Like a VR trivia show makes a ton of sense.
Totally.
And the response is up until this, the response was always from people who had played 1 versus 100. Oh, kind of like 1 versus 100, right? And with this, it's just like this has taken over everything. Everybody wants to talk about this. Everybody knows. It's like Pokemon Go was
Right.
2 years ago, and they've made
Yeah, a
an
little bit.
appointment. Like they made appointment television in an era when there's no appointment television, which is fucking cool.
Yeah, it's neat that even though it's broken a lot of the time.
It's broken in fun ways.
Yeah, it's fun to watch
Yeah.
this thing happen. I don't play it very much anymore because, like, whatever. Like, I know what the trick is at this point, and
What's the trick?
I mean, just like that it exists.
Yeah, you got a secret.
Okay,
Where do you get the answers,
screen
man?
recorder, and then you feed that out OCR
What?
style to machine learning bots, and then they do all the googling and all this other
Look,
stuff, and they'll just tell you.
I'm going to tell you a secret. If
All
you
right.
hold the phone up to a Google Home
Mm-hmm.
and you say "Okay, Google" right before he starts reading the question, pretty good.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's the other thing with all this is that it seems like it's full of holes. Like it feels like that they are not investing in the trivia most of all.
You can go to places and buy vetted good trivia questions.
Yeah,
But
also you need trivia questions that can't be easily Googled.
that's the hard part.
So they need to be written a specific way to where like okay, it'll take you more than 10 seconds to look this up.
Yeah.
And they get that right just enough to where like that's the trick of they have like a handful of questions that are just garbage that any idiot would either know or be able to look up, and then there's that turn of just like, oh, by the way, here's the one question we decided to write for real today.
You say that, but when there's 500,000 people playing, there's always like 20,000 people that get
There
which
are
of these isn't a state, and it's like
There are plenty of idiots
Yeah.
out there, or people that are just like fascinated by the thing and don't actually they know they're not going to
Yeah.
win, so they're just like, oh, whatever, fuck this.
Yeah.
They
well,
just
my
want
kid plays. We tell her top, bottom, or middle.
yeah, they just like being in chat. They just
Yeah.
love the chat experience.
Yeah, that chat
just-
it's a great chat.
Yeah.
It's
Are
like
you
it's like
grooming her
YouTube.
for a Dota game or something. Or?
Yeah, well, you
Playing
know,
top?
look,
Yeah, okay.
she's a jungler, but
Gotcha.
you know,
Oh yeah.
Teaching her right.
yeah.
Anybody play any games that were not trivia related?
Video games.
I don't know. Weird, we're coming down from a packed year of game releases and also a lot of hours of arguing about them. And
Yeah.
hadn't played a lot of them.
I just feel like a
I
lot
don't,
of
I don't know if anybody caught up on anything, but
I mean,
got-
since the last time we talked, I crammed for like top 10 lists.
yeah.
So I felt pretty good about that. But afterwards, it's just like, now I don't really want to touch anything. I fired up God Eater last night for the hell of it. Had
Another annual tradition.
yes, it is actually.
Oh yeah, New Year's God Eater.
Yeah, I actually God Eater set me free, and I came back to it because it was meant to be.
Is there a new one of those coming out this year?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know if it's this year.
Well, yeah, there's a new one
Maybe.
announced.
Anyway, this is
In
like
the
code
hopper.
vein.
I got-
Anyway,
I got deep into Oregon Trail.
Okay.
Like the
or
wait, say-
GAN,
Oregon
like
Trail
No,
or
no, the
Oregon?
proper Oregon.
Okay.
Okay.
The state of.
Which version?
So that's how I got deep into it.
Okay.
Is because the version of Oregon Trail that is out there that with like the graphical elements of walking around and shooting and stuff like that is not my Oregon Trail.
No, I played the Apple II one.
And so that is on the Apple II.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the Apple
that
II
is
had
the
some
that had
graphics.
some graphics.
yeah. But
Like
prior
barely.
to that, so that came out like 2004 or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's like relatively late. There were at least 2 major versions that were just called Oregon before that, and they released public domain, all that other stuff. So, like, we can get into the rich history of the 1971 original release of Oregon Trail, which is actually the one that I remember playing, not in 71, but like that version on an Apple II, I remember playing. And then there was a second version for the Apple II that had some graphics where, like, when you went hunting, a deer would walk across the screen and you would hit the space bar to shoot.
See, I didn't play. I played one that was all
the bullet
text.
is just a little like white pixel.
No, the bullet is like a
it's an
cluster
asterisk.
of
Or is it shot?
It's a cluster of shot that
Really?
will travel up the screen.
Okay. I'm pretty sure that's the version I played.
I
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah, I played one with just the dot. But yeah, the animals would like, scroll across the screen and come back on the other side. And
Yeah.
Sometimes you would kill more than you could carry.
oh yeah,
Well, so
And
that
it was an object lesson
those
about
buffalo are really
that
easy
is
to
that
hit,
is a
but-
thing that wasn't introduced until the one where you could walk around.
Oh.
That's the one where you shoot at the white bullet.
Okay. You're
So
talking about the first hunting you couldn't move.
the first
could
hunting you
only
didn't
shoot?
move. You shot
Okay.
out of the bottom
Oh,
center
I
of the
see.
screen straight
Oh,
up. And that's
okay.
not even the first hunting,
Okay.
because the first hunting was you need to type the word bang really quickly.
That's amazing.
And so so those first 2 versions were the ones floating around my school when I had access to an Apple II.
Okay.
Was the one where you hit the space bar to shoot, and you don't walk around. There's no body on
Yeah,
screen.
no, that's the one I played
Yeah.
where you could move
That's
your guy around.
fucking fancy. I played that I played that one and couldn't hunt because I was like, I don't even know what the fuck to do. I'm not
the freedom
typing
of
nothing.
movement. Oh my god, it was the best.
Open world Oregon Trail seems
Just
madness.
insane. So I was on the hunt for the earlier versions of it and had to look around, and eventually just found, like, okay, on this public domain disc on Worlds of Discovery 108 or whatever the fuck it's called. Disc 108 of this public domain collection had the one that had graphical elements of it, the mid-tier Oregon Trail, but that was not enough. The version I was looking for, ran on the Apple II, but was all text, and the hunting was not action based, other than like you would push hunt, and it would just say, okay, type bang, and you would type bang really quickly,
And then
and it
hopefully
would
you
say
did
like
something.
good eating tonight, if you got it.
That's
right.
the one I played.
Yeah, and so that was the one I played
I
most.
never knew. Wow.
And so I was on a hunt for that one and could never find it for the Apple II. I found that one is apparently that is the one that is based on the original 1971 like HP timeshare basic whatever the
Vax
fuck.
or
Yeah,
whatever,
whatever the hell it was, version of the game.
Wang mini computer.
Yeah. And so I found someone that had taken that original source code and ported it to the BBC Micro and then embedded that in a browser window. So I was able to play that one there.
I'm surprised that like Jason Scott hasn't locked this shit down and it's on archive.org someplace.
I mean, the
Apple one
obviously
is, for
obviously
sure,
the Apple
yeah.
one is, and that mid-tier Apple one is because it's part of like that's a well-documented collection of public domain discs. So that one is there. But finding like some Apple II release of this previous first all-text version, that's the thing I've been unable to dig up, or at least on an Apple II. Like I was able to find it a million other places because everyone's just like, I ported it to Java, I ported it to this, so like that stuff's everywhere. But yeah, not exactly the one that I remember, not exactly the one I was looking for. So
That wasn't your Oregon Trail.
exactly. So I don't know. Like I just started like every time I go like, oh man, Oregon Trail, I load it up and go like and see the hunting where you can walk around and go, what the fuck is this? And just get angry that it's so hard to find the other ones. So this one I finally started doing some of the legwork, which really other people have done that legwork. I was just Googling their legwork to do my legwork.
So you didn't have to do
Yeah.
legwork.
And turned up something closer to what I was looking for, but still not quite the thing.
Did they keep making them? Like after we
They're-
all checked out of
totally.
educational
Yes, there's-
software?
there-
Are
yeah.
there just, like,
there's a DOS
years-
version of Oregon
years and
Trail,
years
but then
of
there's
Oregon
also
Trails?
this Oregon Trail 2.
Wow.
There's Oregon Trail 2000.
Yeah, there's
It
a
has
long
llamas.
history of Oregon Trail reboots, remakes, expansions. Like the Learning Company put it out at some point. Like they
Broderbund published it as a
right
thing at some point.
Yeah.
Oregon Trail 3 Manifest Destiny.
Yeah. So yeah, that's how my break got spent. Fucking doing shit like that.
Wagon Train.
Yeah. Playing a lot of old games, and
You did some streams.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
around,
Yeah.
because like the nature of what we're doing means like I kind of feel like I need to be around a computer every morning while the Game of the Year stuff is going up, just in case anything goes weird, if I need to get hold of anybody.
Nothing
in case
went wrong.
there's
Everything was fine.
in case there's like fucked up ads on the site, and let's say you need to contact someone and go, what the fuck is going on?
There were no spelling errors and
No, yeah,
Everything
I don't
was
even
really
know
good.
I don't even know
Like
what
the
you're
stuff
talking about.
I didn't watch all 300 hours of content that you guys produced or whatever, but it seemed good.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Everybody got their due. It seems like that those words have been said in this room a lot in the last. It's not doesn't smell bad in here anymore. It's all aired out over the break. That's good.
Fumigated it.
Yeah.
I left the door open, so
Thank you.
fumes
Smart.
were-
Smart.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of just I hung out and played a lot of old games, and just streamed some of them for kicks. Like my Christmas plans got canceled, so due to family illness. So I was like, I'm around, whatever. I'll get on the internet and fuck around.
good.
And then I kept meaning to play more VR stuff because I finally cleared a room, in a way that I could finally get the Rift back up and running.
And you only have the Rift. Did
Yeah,
you buy
yeah.
a PSVR or
No.
There's been deals on those all throughout.
Yeah,
And
I saw
I-
some bundles, and I keep thinking should I?
Are
Now
they dumping the old ones, or is
So
this the Rev
that's
2?
it's kind of hard to
That's my
tell.
thought, yeah.
Probably, but it's not immediately obvious
right.
in all cases which version you're getting.
So I would end up wanting to buy because the bundle with Skyrim VR is definitely the new one.
Okay.
That has because I need HDR pass through. I'm not gonna fucking so a couple of times I thought about buying one of those, but they were not immediately easy to find. And then I cooled off on that because I remembered oh right, I've had a horrible experience with PSVR every time I put one on.
Every time.
So as much as I would like to have one because I want to mess with Farpoint or whatever, some of this other stuff that's only on PSVR.
I just want to see that Voltron thing. I've heard it's terrible, but I just want to see it.
Yeah.
Polybius. So I played a bunch of VR stuff over break
Yeah.
for reasons that don't matter. But I went through all the stuff from last year that I hadn't played yet.
Mhm.
And
I played some Shooty Fruity.
Oh, I haven't tried that.
Rude.
Yeah. It's a shooting
Do you
gallery
shoot fruit?
game. Yes, you shoot fruit.
Okay.
Evil fruit that's hopping at you. The catch, though,
No.
is why it's cool, is that you are also a checker at a grocery store. So there's a conveyor belt and things are coming down the belt. You have to scan the items and move them on. So you have to. So it's this thing of things are hopping up on you, getting closer and closer, and you have to be able to deal with them before they get to you. But also you have to keep this moving because this is what gets you more power-ups and gets you more guns, I guess. So there's a hanger, there's a hook traveling above
scanning
you.
bananas and all of a sudden an M16.
No, power-ups do
Oh,
come
okay.
through. The guns
All right.
actually come through on a clothesline.
Okay.
And they're hanging from that. So you grab a shotgun from there. You're still scanning. If it gets particularly hairy, you can grab a second gun. They all limited ammo, so you're always having to get rid of the guns and get new ones
Well, that's fun.
while also moving all this stuff along the conveyor belt.
Can you shoot and scan at
Yes,
the same time?
absolutely.
Okay.
So
Cool.
so it's an interesting take on that stuff, or on the stand here and shoot stuff thing.
Does that have a job simulator vibe?
Yes,
Seems
that,
like
that-
it,
so
yeah.
it's got comedy to it,
Okay.
which it wouldn't work without the writing. I think it would be a little too plain at that point. But it seems well made.
Did you play the Psychonauts thing on PSVR?
I did.
I hadn't hooked the PSVR thing up in a long
I played through
time,
that thing.
and I was really blown away by how good the Psychonauts thing was.
Yeah, it's it's pretty slight. It's pretty limited in scope.
Sure,
mean,
but
it's
it's
small-
not a
it's short,
but it's
Yeah.
super well done. Yeah.
Yeah, and it shows what you can do well. It's good representation of what a VR video game.
Yeah,
should
that
be.
art, that art style translates. I
Yeah.
thought incredibly well to that environment.
Well, and using the telekinesis and stuff to move
Yeah.
around and all that worked really well. Was smart. What else?
I want
played
to hear.
Polybius.
I want to hear you talk about Polybius.
Yeah, so I played Polybius. I hadn't played Polybius yet.
Polybius
And
is
you
the
lived
reason
to
why
tell
I
the tale.
keep
Yes,
keep thinking I guess I should get a PlayStation VR.
it's fucking crazy.
I don't know if that game's good.
I
I
don't-
feel like
yeah.
I need to spend a lot of time playing it to.
I feel like
see
I've
depth.
played it just enough outside of VR to feel like maybe it's not a great video game.
It's okay, but
I
it
don't think
just
it's-
looks like any other Jeff Mentor game when you play it on a TV.
Right.
But when you go inside it,
When you go
Right.
inside, it's real good.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
llamas fly right at you, man.
and it is fucking fast in
is-
a way that VR games are so afraid to do.
yeah,
Well, it's like Thumper was the same way.
Yeah.
And the thing about Thumper and this game is that if you have a slow monitor, those Thumper is hard to play on a slow monitor because the latency of the monitor is such that like you're gonna miss the timing on those beats. But putting in a headset, everybody has the same monitor and it's tuned exactly right, and it was much like I was suddenly good at Thumper when I was playing in the Vive.
Oh, weird.
When I was terrible playing on my ultra wide slow pixel refresh monitor. I feel like this is kind of the same. Like timing's less important in Polybius, but that game's like it was like $6 or $10 or something like that, and I was like, it's a perfect. It is exactly the right price for what that is.
It's just such a trip because it's like so. I hate to use the word ugly.
It's mintery,
but yeah, it looks like Jeff Minter.
It looks like old video games.
Yeah,
you know? But there's something about old video games wrapped around you in this really wild way,
and having the elements like detached from a screen and just floating around like that, the glowing text and
Well, so the thing, I need to spend more time with it because I haven't played it enough to like get past the like. It seems like there's a tutorial kind of progression where you start with like a 2D, a planar level, and then you move on to tubes, and then stuff gets a little crazier after that.
Yeah.
And it seems like there's like he's gradually leading you on like a tutorial or a onboarding process in a way that Minter games generally don't.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to play more.
Yeah, I don't know if it really goes anywhere or not. I haven't necessarily gotten deep enough into it to know if that actually builds to something or if it's just like, hey, it's just getting faster, weirder.
Do you know how many levels you got in? I think I got to like level 10 or 12, and every level was different. Like, I'll give them that. Like there was a decent amount of variety.
I got to 10, and that's when I died the first time.
Did you get hung up on how did that level work? There's one level where there's like blue and red columns,
and some of them you can shoot, and some of them you can't.
Yeah, and it's not immediately clear what the interaction is about which ones work and which ones don't. Like
you have to shoot them to figure it out. Yeah,
that's where I got hung up.
I think that
was my first death.
The thing I like about it, and the thing that I don't think the game actually is this, but I think in the early going playing it, the thing I like about it is that it almost feels like none of it really matters. Like the game part of it almost feels like it's barely a game. It's just like, shoot this. What are the rules of this? It doesn't. Just shoot this, and you'll get some bonus.
Just keep shooting.
Like, whatever.
Just go fast. This looks crazy.
Yeah, like I almost like the idea of just like it's gonna keep giving you strange bonuses and like rules that don't make sense, like perpetually. That would be a really cool concept for that thing if it just stretched out to infinity in terms of just like, hey, in this level, I don't know, don't shoot the cows or shoot the cows. I don't, it's
run through the gates, but don't hit the horns.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's neat. It's coming to PC at some point.
Good.
They're working on Tempest 4000 for Atari right now.
Oh, that's exciting.
So
wait, what? After his
after the
legal tussle
TXK
with them
lawsuit stuff
over the name Tempest, he decided to make an actual Tempest.
Yeah, they're good friends again.
I guess so.
So yeah, they're doing Tempest 4000, and
also for VR.
I don't think
Tempest in VR would be pretty cool.
I don't know that it is. But it is like 4K, like, so it may be the first game to test my hypothesis that like maybe HDR on an OLED might be a 4K HDR OLED might finally be the screen to emulate vector graphics appropriately.
Huh.
Oh, because you have enough pixel density.
Yeah. And the HDR can kind of give you the glow.
Yeah, the phosphor
or something more closely resembling the glow than we've gotten up to this point. So I want to see someone tackle that. Wow. So I'm really, I've been hung up on that concept for like the past like 3 weeks or so, just going like, man, I wonder if that could actually work. So I think Tempest 4000 will end up being one of the first early potential tests of that.
You can't think of anything that you could test it with right now.
Not without like me modifying an emulator to have HDR support and all that other stuff. No, no, not with.
Now that you've said it,
right? Hopefully someone will apply this logic to MAME and see what it does.
Yeah.
What is the vector game of choice? Like
I don't know. It's probably Tempest.
Okay.
Star Wars.
I think
Star Wars.
Star Wars is the one that always
is
comes
probably
to mind.
my actual favorite. But
I don't think Star Wars is good without the yoke, though.
Yeah.
Like you need to pull the triggers independely, shoot right and left.
Yeah.
All the buttons were the same. It didn't actually.
I know, but
it's
pew,
not.
pew, pew, pew.
It's
good
fake.
Jeff,
It's
that was
fake.
good
Pew, pew,
yoke.
pew, pew, pew.
It's a damn good yoke.
I mostly played that game. I mean, I played the arcade game a lot, but I had it for the Atari, like 400, like the 8-bit Atari computers. So I ended up playing it with a digital joystick.
That doesn't sound good.
A lot. It was okay. I mean, for what
fair.
you could do on that platform, it was a good version of that game. But yeah.
I only ever played that game at the public pool.
Yeah.
So my prevailing memory of playing that game is just getting shocked constantly.
Yeah.
Just constantly getting little shocks because I was standing in a puddle of water.
That's
every time I played
the
it.
Emperor
Yeah.
with his lightning
right.
hands.
That's right. It was much more real.
See, our pool game was Frogger, and I remember, those chalky lollipops with the plastic stick with the hole in it?
Yeah.
I was always eating one of those lollipops, and I'd play a game of Frogger with the change.
Yeah.
Nice.
Maybe 2.
Yeah.
And those tiny shocks all the time.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's how you know you're alive. I feel like I would be remiss if we did not discuss everyone's time on, God, what's it called? Miramar? Is that what they're calling it?
PUBG Island 2?
Yes, the desert.
I played a lot of PUBG.
Yeah, so did I.
Shock. Games. We played some, finally.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, the game's really good.
You were teaching me horrifying strategies about climbing geometry in ways that you never should.
Oh, yeah, you can do all sorts of weird
Like
shit.
he had me climb up a crane that's like 4 stories tall.
Oh, wow.
Like
You just run right up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At like
It's
an
a climbing
80-degree
surface.
angle that it looks like you shouldn't be able to walk up, and then of course I fell off the top of it.
I mean,
Yeah. Oh,
you didn't. You only mostly died, though. You were okay.
Yeah.
It's risk versus reward.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I feel like I'm getting the old map more than I want.
So the last patch, I think they balanced it back to 50-50.
Okay.
They were biased in favor of the new map.
Yeah. Wasn't there? I saw there was like a bug where you were just getting the
So
desert
for a
map
while, if you the bug was if you got the desert map or like first game in a session, then you'd be stuck on the desert map
Oh, weird.
until the end of the session.
Yeah.
They fixed that. That was real early after 1.0. But yeah, like I feel like as somebody who plays probably too much, it's nice to go back to the old island.
Yeah.
Like I like the new map a lot, but those games are a little bit slower just
Hmm.
because the traversal of that map is way more difficult because of
Right.
the hilliness and the
Yeah.
size and like it's big, it's hard to get around. Sometimes it's nice to go back to the old place where you can just run if you need to.
Sure. Run free. I
Yeah.
found every time I've made like top 10 on that desert map, it's like a horrifying experience
Yeah.
because there's no foliage. It's just like super
Yeah.
bright daylight, like those hills, like you stand out like a sore thumb on the sides of those hills just based on the color palette and all that stuff.
Can you get any like ghillie suits that help you
they're-
blend in?
the-
or-
it's
ghillie
the
suit's
same
still
ghillie
green.
suit.
Same.
Yeah, so
Oh, you
it's,
serious?
it's
Oh,
not so
jeez.
useful.
I think they're going to desert it up. They just
Are they?
don't
I
have
hope
it
so.
yet.
Okay,
Yeah.
I got it once, yeah, and it did nothing.
You look like a bush if you're far enough away.
Yeah, yeah.
The thing.
My tracksuit's been fine.
yeah.
Yeah,
my
no
purple.
issues.
Purple's
Yeah.
not great there.
No,
I gotta.
it's yellow. This one.
Yeah, I gotta
yeah.
get a different. I wish they would do different costumes, like so I could have my desert costume.
Oh,
and
like
my
let you set
Arangel costume.
set
yeah.
clothes per map. Yeah,
Yeah.
that seems like something they could eventually get to.
I mean,
uh,
but like the thing about that new map is it's something that people at the high tier of play got on the old map eventually is using ground. Like there's places in fields in the old map where you have like a 2-foot shelf,
mhm.
and if you know what you're doing, that's pretty good
That's enough
cover.
Right.
Yeah, and those places are abundant in the new map. You just have to find them, and it's like it's like the galaxy brain thing, or it's like when Neo sees through the fucking Matrix at the end of it.
Yeah.
After 700 or 800 hours, you just see that stuff all the time.
You
It's
just
no problem.
you just know it's covered.
Yeah,
you
you
know
know-
this is
yeah.
the safe spot.
This
yeah.
is good enough.
Yeah, I had a couple really fucking harrowing finishes. Like I'd finished third or fourth a couple times, and just those situations. Just that guy on that other side of that truck leaned, and I did not see him, but he saw me.
Yeah.
And fuck.
There's something going on now with the leaning that I don't like. Everybody's leaning now. And
Huh.
like they're standing in the middle of a fucking field and they lean. I have no idea why. I haven't hit Reddit enough to figure out what the idea behind that is.
Yeah.
But it is a new part of the meta. So you play mostly solo, right, Jeff?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't. I've almost stopped solo. It's too intense for
Mhm.
me.
Yeah. That's what I like.
You
I
want to
just-
feel something?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
the. I mean, it's a different thing, right? You know,
Yeah.
when you're playing with people, it's like it's goofy fun. Like, hey, let's have a good time. Let's get out there, and then it snaps into serious mode.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like when I play alone, it is always serious mode.
Yeah. It's super.
I agree with you, and I've been playing a lot more solo and starting to like it a little bit more. But
Yeah.
the downside of solo is when nothing's going on, nothing is going on. You know, like at least in a squad, you can like bullshit with people.
So
Yeah.
solo's
fart around and do something. You know, like I just
But I feel like that's the thing though. In solo, you're always on watch.
yeah,
You're
sure,
always
sure.
like, even in those moments where like, okay, I think I'm good here for a couple minutes while this circle closes
Sure.
in.
Yeah.
Let's just catch my breath a little bit here, but keep looking out these fucking windows.
sound becomes a lot more important.
Yeah,
Like you
for
just
sure.
sit
Yeah.
there and listen and hope that the footstep bug isn't in again, and yeah, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Are you a barefoot guy?
Always barefoot.
Is that a tactical advantage?
Yeah, the reason you do barefoot in squad is so
Yeah.
that your footsteps are distinguished from everybody else's.
Okay.
I mean, it doesn't obviously work 100% of the time, but most people wear shoes.
Yeah.
And so my footstep sounds are different. My squad's footstep sounds are different from everybody else's, so we know if somebody else is unusual, making unusual sounds around us.
Right up until you said that, and now, now everyone else out
No,
there
this is
taking off their shoes.
This is like May meta. This is all
Yeah, yeah.
outdated at this point. But yeah, no, it's the new map's really good. Like more than the new map being good, the new vehicles are awesome. The Volkswagen in squad games, that thing is a tank if you can drive it, but it's kind of
right.
Like I've started pushing Volkswagens up hills with another car that has better torque, like the Bronco or something.
Yeah.
And
is
then the van, the Volkswagen,
that's the Volkswagen. It's not really
party,
a Volkswagen, but
party bus?
the 6-man bus. Yeah.
Okay.
And the Winchester. That Winchester fills a hole that I didn't realize was there in the loot tables.
Where are you using it?
I
I haven't found a good use
early
for it yet.
game.
Okay.
As a range weapon.
Okay.
Like it's super accurate out to further than you can see anybody at. Like very little bullet drop.
Okay.
And it makes a lot of noise, but like if you're in the first 10-15 minutes and you have like somebody else in the town that you're in, you need to finish up. You need to hit them without them knowing where you are, and you know where they are. It's great.
Yeah. Okay.
You just watch them and wait until they stop for a second, then pop right
That makes
off
sense.
with the head. And I think I could be wrong on this, but I think it takes everything up to a level 2 helmet off. So
All right.
yeah.
1.0 is leading to kind of an embarrassing tendency for me, which is to watch the death cam every time I die.
Oh no.
No, that's not embarrassing.
And wonder if I should mash the report button or not.
There's a lot of cheaters right now.
Yeah.
Especially at the higher.
I've only actually reported like 2 people, because in a lot of cases it was like, well, maybe that was just a lucky
Could have
shot.
been a lucky shot. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's been a couple where it was just like I even would go back and turn on X-ray, and it was just like I was not remotely visible to this guy in any way, and he took me out in one shot. Like,
you can watch the death cam. You can watch if you load the replay mode, you can watch somebody's perspective and see
that's what I did.
X-ray through the world.
That's what I did on that one.
Yeah.
Because I was like, what the fuck just happened? Like,
And
there's
those
no
are
way.
accurate, right? Because we
I-
played
so
plenty of
that's
games
the-
where we would like spectate somebody
that's-
else, but it was never quite on the
Yeah,
money.
that's-
Like it never looked like the crosshairs.
That's
were
part of the
where they
reason
should be.
I hesitate to report people is
Yeah.
because I don't know how accurate that
Well,
view is.
So there's so I'm to give context, not to be bragging like an
Go on.
asshole, but I'm usually in the top 1/10% on the squad leaderboards, and often in the top 1,000 or 1,500, whenever you start getting numbers.
Right.
The preponderance of cheaters at that level of play is every single game. Like we go out and hunt cheaters now.
Yeah.
Which is fucking fun. It's like it's the next level of
It's like, okay, now it's like here it is stacked against you.
Yeah.
How do you know though until they shoot somebody?
Well, you can watch this. You watch this kill spam, and you see like somebody get 4 headshots in
Okay.
4 headshot kills in like in the time that they're all visible.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, that guy's cheating.
And, if you hear those
If you're close
gunshots,
by,
Yeah, you
then
hear those
can
gunshots, you know
compare-
they're near.
Compare the gunshots with the kill
Yeah.
feed. That's
the other
Man.
thing you can do, the other thing we've been doing is just going out and hunting crates like Pasquale does. So if you go for that very first crate, the one that drops a minute into the game or
See that-
90 seconds into the game.
see that bird fly overhead.
Yeah.
Lays its egg. You got to go.
The cheaters are going to go for that because they want a Groza, or they want an AUG, or they
Right.
want an AWM or an M249. And with that, they're if you get them before they get the good gun, then you can pretty much take them out. The other thing is they can only shoot one person at a time, so you get one person to be the bait, and then everybody else dumps on them, and it's their day is over.
You're doing the Lord's work.
I mean, we try to make the Evangel better one day one bullet at a time. Brad,
Keep the streets safe. Who was it? I think it was friend of the site, Casey Malone, was saying, and I totally agree with him that he hates that they named the maps. I think it's ridiculous.
I thought
Create your own name, right?
it was better before the map had labels too. Like when people called the prison the pit or the bunghole or whatever.
Yeah,
everybody
totally.
had different names for it.
I don't want him to take the game quite so seriously. It's fine. It's not a big deal.
It's good.
I don't know. Like I think you could make that same case about the way some shooters started labeling where you are in a multiplayer map, like Halo 5 does that, and some of that other stuff where it's like, hey, you're in Call of Duty does it now. too,
Everybody,
I think.
yeah.
Oh, you're in the corridor. Or
Right.
Like, oh, you're on the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just it makes communication easier.
Shorthand, sure.
But yeah, their names are all boring.
Yeah.
I don't know. The names
city
on the
names
second
are
map,
good.
I think, the city names are really good. but
Yeah, that's fine.
yeah, it's the
And there's those are references to things that I think Brandon and or people on the team are into. Like there's a Walden reference in the Rangel map. The stuff people are into.
right.
Yeah. Or Russian philosophers are the names of the cities are places where Russian novels were all written. I think I can't remember. Anyway,
there's some sense to it.
There is a logic behind it.
Huh, interesting. Last thing I'll say about it, speaking of not taking that game seriously, that zombies match that we played on the stream right before.
Look,
yeah, that is in the quick look. Like that was kind of fucking awesome.
Did they how'd it go? I bailed out on that one.
We lost, and it was super tense, and like it actually felt like a real game mode and not just a joke.
Well, the thing to remember there though is like we are the 8 people that get to treat it like a real game mode where everyone else has to run around and not pick up guns. And is it as fun for them? Maybe not.
It may not be as fun for them, but
like I don't think they could ever roll that out outside of this private match. Like, hey, we're on a stream thing.
You may be right,
because I just don't think people would stand.
I think the reason it worked for me was because we got rolled. Like, well, there were probably 70 or 80 zombies left when we all died. Like, they destroyed us. Like, it did not feel like, because you go into that thing like, oh, we're the only ones that can pick up guns. Of course, we're just going to mow everybody down.
Oh no, never. Every time we've played zombies, I've been like, this is fucked.
Yeah,
like this is never going to work out.
The zombies just will like utterly ruin you through attrition.
There was that game we played like a few months ago where you were coordinating the zombies.
Yeah.
And telling them how to behave, and like there was that feeling of like you're leading this charge over the hill, right? And I was like, oh fuck, this is fucking bad.
Part of it,
but that's like that feeling's
it's
really
awesome.
good.
It's awesome, but I feel like that's really hard to get outside of this specific case where we are able to stream the game. And also,
that's part of it.
I feel like it's the one element of that game that is like very hard to duplicate for like a wider like audience that isn't like also streaming the game.
I don't know how they would codify that mode if they spun it out like that.
You'd need something like the AI director in Left 4 Dead to tell the human zombie players
like
where to go.
Kind of where to go.
And maybe you'd have to find a way to give them more to do, just like you said, so they're not just running across the map.
Well,
for 30 minutes.
Like when I run a zombie game, I have the zombies. I give the zombie stuff to do. Like one of the things you do is go through and punch out every door in the buildings around where you think you're gonna set up your final ambushes. So there's no place for people to hide and shoot at you as you're coming in. Now that was before. I haven't played a zombie game since mantling was in. Can zombies mantle?
Yes,
I think so.
I would assume so.
I think we asked that question and answered it on that stream. But I don't remember.
Yeah, like that stuff's good. That 10-man game was fun too.
Yeah,
the stuff they made good improvements to the custom games.
Yeah, that stuff's a lot of fun.
The spectator thing has gotten awesome because when you look at the map as a spectator, you see every time guns are fired, you see like the vectors representing the bullet, like the travel. Cool. Like it looks awesome just watching this overhead view with all these lines popping off everywhere.
That's on the death cam too now.
Is it?
Yeah, it's really nice. So you know who else was shooting at you.
Yeah. Like that. I mean, that zombie mode, like Austin was in there, like sort of directing everybody to this specific like ranch house, and like we all pulled up and got in there and like hold out. You know, like it felt like a standoff.
Yeah.
But it made me think, it's like, dude, if there was like some static defense building aspect to this, like,
so what you're saying is you want to play Fortnite,
yeah,
right?
You should play Fortnite
because that is 100% what that game is.
Yeah, I guess so.
I played some of that.
Yeah,
I went back to it to check it out.
That still seems pretty popular.
Yeah, it does. I really don't like it.
I don't like the building.
It's not what I'm looking for out of that style of game.
Is the building like core to the?
It's high level play, absolutely. Because you're building.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a shot comes your way, you're immediately plopping down cover.
Wow.
You know, like that is that game.
Kind of sounds cool in concept.
They're carving out their own style of this thing, but I don't. So they're going to be testing an overhauled shooting. Like they're overhauling their shooting, which they need to do because that game was not built for competitive play. It was built for you with a controller shooting, you know, whatever the zombies or whatever the fuck is in, you know, the regular Fortnite. And so after that overhaul, I bet it'll be just like a better game or a better competitive game. But I still like it's just not what I'm looking for out of that style of game. What you said about like zombies with some kind of like direction or something like that, I actually, when I started thinking about what it is I like about this game, about this style of game, it was always going back to the movie. It was always going back to Battle Royale.
Yeah.
And the more I thought about that, the more I realized, like, if you did it like an AI, not an AI director, but some kind of like dungeon master type role that is like the host of this game, that is like directing these squads and trying to pit these squads and try to do that sort of stuff.
Yeah. I
think that would be, if I were out making a game like this, that would be the twist I would do, is to be a little bit more faithful to the actual source material, in that, like, try to make it more like a game show, like have an announcer.
Were you the one
smaller,
that had,
right? Battle Royale is only like 30 people because it's a class of kids, right? Or 50 people.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Like
I think that scales to the size of your environment. Like you could do 50, but it needs to feel like a lot.
right.
And that's like so. Call of Duty Online, I think that's that free to play Call of Duty that's in China. They have their battle royale mode in testing, or it was supposed to go into test in December, and they have an announcer. And looking at the footage, it was like, oh, this is totally what's been missing from this. Is like fucking loudspeakers all around, and someone going like, "You need to go,"
Yeah, like the idea that the speakers aren't in the environment,
right?
And it feels integrated with what you're doing.
Like it should never be like
amazing.
the text on the screen. You've got 2 minutes thing.
Yeah,
never. And I actually think that would be ratcheted up and be cooler if it was a human player on those megaphones. Of course, they would be garbage. You know,
yeah,
you'd be under the case where,
99% of the
like
time they'd be
totally
some shitbag talking
like
about
a moderation
Nazi shit.
nightmare, but
Yes.
maybe if you had to like earn your way to the right to be an announcer or
That's
something.
kind of how they did it in
that worked in
Battlefield with
Planet
the commander
Side.
role.
Yeah.
Yeah, working planet. Yeah, I like the thing that I miss about from the movie Battle Royale is the idea that you can make alliances, right? That if you start out
that
everybody
too.
man for themselves. Austin and I were talking about this the other day when we were playing. Is like it would be amazing, and there's good reasons to not have teaming and all that stuff in PUBG. But like I would totally play a 16-player game that was just that I could just play once a month with people I know. But that we drop in and we all form alliances. We all our appearance is different, so you don't know who anybody is until you get joined up and all that stuff.
So that's the thing, though, is if you have an announcer, you're giving like all the players have something to work against.
Yeah,
and so you then have that dual objective of like, well, I want to be the last one standing, but also if a few of us got together and found a way to outwit the dungeon master. Like that would be fucking cool.
You get to the end, and the last two people kiss, so that the people watching at home love them.
Yes,
and then they can't, or else the autocratic regime will be torn down by the people from inside it.
Yes,
Science.
and more weird melee weapons, which melee
Spoons.
combat I think is hard to do. But
you need a spoon.
That idea of just like you're gonna get a random item at start, and it might be fucking worthless. But maybe you can find a way to make it work.
Well, so watching the people cheating in this game, like the aimbots are boring, but like there's people that do speed hacking, there's people that have wall hacks, and those produce a really interesting, weird style of play, and it makes me think back to Shadowgate, Shadowrun, the Xbox,
right?
Like, which was basically the pitch. I'm sure the pitch for that was, hey, we're going to do Counter-Strike, but you could get cheats.
Yeah.
And we're going to build the cheats into the game,
right. and one of the cheats is a gigantic tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like if one of the things you get when you drop is, hey, you can see where people are within 50 meters around you, or like give some of these things back to the players.
Right. If you can find a way to balance like an array of powers.
Yeah.
That I would like to see a game attempt to do that.
I think
to the point where we shouldn't have said any of this out loud.
Well, I mean, it's not like this is live. We can just remove it, right?
I was almost surprised you said that loudspeaker thing because I think it's like such a good idea that it shouldn't.
But
be
also,
voiced.
I think it's someone will do that. Like I'm not some fucking
literally
genius. Like I remember that movie. That's
every game
or the Stone Cold Steve Austin
right
movie
now is making either this or the most dangerous game.
Yeah, they're going back and watching all the material based on that style of fiction, whether it's Stone Cold Steve Austin in The Condemned, John Leguizamo's turn in The Pest, like all this sort of stuff.
Of course.
All goes back to that style.
The pillars of the genre.
Pest.
Yeah.
Do you read the original, the novel that Battle Royale, the movie, was based on? It has a lot more detail.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Yeah. Did you ever watch the sequel? I always meant
it's
to,
bad.
and
it
seemed like it was very much not what I was looking for. Yeah. But I still have this need to see it because I liked the original so much. Never saw the Hunger Games though, or read them or anything like that. Never really cared.
Awful, I guess. I don't know. I do actually appreciate like the the island aspect, just the games themselves. Like that was kind of intriguing.
Like the thing that's interesting about Hunger Games is how they set up. Like it's much more. It's a cross between Saw and it's jungle sized Saw.
Yeah.
Basically.
Okay. Yeah.
Like the whole world is a trap, and again, the bad guy isn't the other 7 people in the world with you.
When I used to think about like, man, they need to make a battle royale game, it was always a story driven single player thing that was like procedurally generated or something. So it's like you drop in every time with a different weapon. Can you make the alliances? But it was always against AI.
But what if all 7 people were human?
Right. Yeah. Then you have to voice chat with them, and someone fucks it up every time. It's the same reason like You know, like if you want that type of role playing, it becomes something that it becomes a lot harder to play with random.
You could do
people.
text trees. I mean, you could do
Sure.
like think about how Rocket League handles communication on play on console, right? Like you can give
that's always like after the fact kind of communication though. Like you
you
rarely
like
use
pass
that
it
for
to me or whatever. Though.
But also, you end up in
Sure,
situations
but,
where, like, you know, you'll get someone in game that like is an extremely confident shooter, and they will just start shooting immediately before you get any chance to parlay
that's fine.
or something like that.
I mean, that's the way it goes.
It does, but you know, if you get too many players like that, and I think you know players approach games, you know, gun first. It's the same reason why that Kane and Lynch multiplayer mode.
The one where you turn on each other.
Yeah,
Because
it became, you know, especially in the first game. Second game was slightly different, but it became like, okay, these are the 2 choke points in this map. As we move from point A to point B in a co-op fashion, these are the 2 points where it's logical to turn.
Yeah.
But then you got players that had played so much of it that they were just like, I can turn immediately and get and handle it.
But
it's not a problem. And so it just led to situations where you would get one of those players in a game, and it would ruin it to the point where you're just like, I'm just not going to play any more of this because it's become the same thing over and over again.
But I mean, if you look at how Blizzard is kind of not stack ranking, but they're kind of siloing players so that people who have compatible play styles end up playing Overwatch together. Like that's possible if there's a big enough player base.
Yeah, maybe they can solve it.
Yeah, like you can put the people who just want to min max it in with other min maxers. You can put the people who want to role play it in with the role players, and like everybody in between fits on the spectrum where they land. Because the thing is, as long as there's variety, it works out. Because like if there's always a machine gun guy, then the other players are going to join up to beat the machine gun guy and then knife each other, right? And that's just going to be the way that
definitely.
These are solvable problems if there's an infinite number of
players.
players.
I guess that's the exciting thing is it feels like we're at a point now where the tech has evolved in terms of just because when Battle Royale came out, the idea of like 100-player game that ran like a shooter, you were like, this isn't even fucking possible.
Yeah.
And now we're there. So
I mean, PlanetSide was like a 3-second tick
exactly
rate or something, right?
Yeah.
It was bonkers.
Yeah, PlanetSide was like a rare exception, and even that was you're right. That thing.
It was spells that were disguised as machine guns.
Right. Yeah.
Dot spells.
Yeah, I don't.
I played so much goddamn
So did
PlanetSide though.
I can't believe we never played. PlanetSide was before I knew you, I guess.
Yeah.
But I played hundreds of hours of PlanetSide.
But I mean, you know, which faction were you? Like?
Fucking NC, man, for life.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, blue and gold.
Y'all are cool.
I can respect it, as long as you're not the Vanu.
Fuck the Vanu, man. That alien shit is bullshit.
Yeah, I don't
Strafing
cotton
tanks.
to this idea that like I see people saying like PUBG is just a tech demo. It's not like a fully fledged thing. Like I think it's totally fascinating and
I think that
fun to
the
play,
meta outside
but-
of the game is the real game. That's what people are really gravitating towards and getting the most out of. And like I get that. I don't like playing the game, but like you know that like outside experience that you guys are talking about, the meta game and everything, I get that from other genres. I get it from fighting games and stuff. So,
but I'm sorry.
No, I'm good. Like,
but I will say I was gonna say like it is like an incredible base of technology. Like you said, you know, it's just like it's kind of the first proof of concept that like, hey, things at this scale work now and mostly work well.
Right.
And like to see other people build on that idea is going to be
I mean, you know, the mod that came before Armas and stuff like that, like, you know, it has been doing high player counts and shooters and stuff like that. But this is like at scale.
Different.
And I mean, shit, man, the idea of, hey, we've got multiplayer hoppers that require 100 players or, you know, as many as you can get, like even that's out of reach for the vast majority of games. Like there's a I don't remember the name of it. There's a sci-fi themed battle royale game on Steam right now because of course there is.
Yeah.
Oh, is it out?
It is.
It's not the God. What is that thing called? Something of 9?
No, it's not. It's until one remain. I don't know. I don't remember. But it's like jetpacks and laser guns, and
so it's Tribes Battle Royale.
It could
is there
be
a spin fuser?
No, it's a mess. Like, but it's early access.
Tribes
so,
was a mess too.
Tribes was a beautiful mess.
Tribes was a beautiful mess. And no one's playing it.
Yeah,
so you know, like the bar is so high for this already because of the expectations of the player count and all the other stuff. Like I think that's going to be the thing that prevents the clones from from a lot of games cloning this style of play from catching on, and why I think you'll see it'll be more like the Fortnite model of we've got a player base. This thing's popular. We're going to pivot them into this,
or they'll free to play it because there's an infinite number of people who will play a free non-$30.
Have you tried any of the mobile games, or like there's a browser-based game that does the battle royale thing now that like is actually kind of neat?
I would love
down 2D.
I would love to play like a phone game that lets me control like do sim battle royale essentially, where I'm like the overlord,
cool,
and I'm just deciding where the reds
there you
are
go.
based on population density and all that
That would
stuff.
be great. But yeah, there's tons of. I mean, obviously, like that's all those games are gigantic in China, and a bunch of them are launched here. But they all look like they're trying to be the same type of action game that you would get out of like a proper PC game, and like I don't want to do that on a touch screen.
Yeah. No, never.
But free to play, you know, I see why people might gravitate towards it.
The thing that keeps pulling me back is like there's I don't know if you've hit this yet, but I assume it's the same thing that happens with Dota or fighting games or whatever, something you spend hundreds of hours playing, is that there are real skill plateaus where like I get real good real fast, and then I totally level out for like a week or two until I figure out either the next level of meta that the way I'm playing wrong, or learn some new skill or something like that.
Fighting games are absolutely that.
Yeah,
The catch is that I just never get off that first or second plateau.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm just not good enough. And actually, I guess the Battleground's similar. Like I'm probably never going to be where you're at.
Well, you spent less time. I mean, it's
If
literally
you're
just
going
time
into
spent.
games where you just like going in to kind of fuck around with friends, then you're going to stay at that.
Exactly.
plateau,
Yeah. Because if you're playing with people that are at your level all the time, you're never going to learn anything new. You're always going to do the same thing and make the same mistakes.
Yeah.
It was the thing that I think turned us around just here playing as a group when we were streaming it every week. I think you had said like, hey, go where there are people.
Yeah.
Right? Like drop where there are people, because otherwise you're never going to get better at shooting.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, right, of course.
Yeah, you have to go where there are people, and then once you get past that, then the next thing is like learning when to shoot and when to not shoot and when to run away. Because like if you
have to know when to hold them, and know when to fold them.
in this case, folding them means to run away as fast as you can.
Yeah.
But yeah, like knowing when. If you have 100 rounds and it's going to take you 60 rounds to kill somebody, and then you're not going to be able to loot their bodies, or they'll have expended all of their ammo trying to kill you while you're trying to kill them, don't bother unless it's the very end of the game.
For me, it was even stuff as elementary as like when I first started playing that game, I tried to snap to iron sights for every shot I took.
Oh no, if you're like 10, 20 feet away, always hip fire.
And like the day I realized like, wait, I should just stay in third person and just do the little aim thing. Like,
It still baffles me that they don't have some sort of just like environment where you can just hop into and do target
they
practice.
really
I think it's
like that.
really good that they don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, because otherwise by going in and fighting against other people, fighting against bots, you learn such bad habits because the bots move predictably and all that.
I wouldn't even do bots. I would just be like static targets at range to let you learn the
target.
If
Well,
you
you
could
could
just
totally
learn the
do that.
ballistics.
Yes. Like just a place I could practice bullet drop would be.
I'm going to tell you a
I'm with you
secret,
on the
guys.
bad habits thing.
You have 1 minute at the start of every match.
Yeah.
On Arangel, at least. They didn't put I'm shocked that they didn't put the guns in the starting area of the desert map, actually. Because like the thing you should be doing if you want to get good is take that first minute, go get the fucking micro Uzi, because nobody ever picks it up. It's garbage.
I have no idea where it is.
It's on one of those tables.
Okay.
Like it's just on the picnic tables. It's the third one on the right, I think. I can't remember. Anyway,
Will, I got a plane to climb.
look, I'm gonna.
I got so much other shit to do. I
that
gotta
Arangel
around.
starting
I
area.
want to get on
You
fire.
make Human Centipede. That's good. That Arangel starting area has places you can learn to. Well, it doesn't matter anymore. You could learn to crouch jump. You can like all the shit that you need to know to get around that world. There are placeholders to learn that shit in that starting area on Arangel. But learn how to shoot people that are moving with the micro Uzi from the hip, and you'll be good to go in the first. Like you'll survive your first encounter.
Yeah.
That's the goal. Learn how to use a pistol,
my
learn how
goal
to
is
use a
to
shotgun, learn how to
actually
use the micro
survive
Uzi.
one encounter.
That's where I'm at now. Is I'm
still
going
fumbling
to
with
say
the
probably
controls.
90% of the time survive my first encounter playing solo.
Like
First one or two.
one of the early turns is, oh shit, there's other people here, I should hide.
Right.
To, oh shit, there's other people here, I have an Uzi, I'm gonna go kill them.
Right.
Because like it's always easier to kill them before they get armor and a real gun.
Yeah. And the thing I run into now is that kind of mid to late game situation of just like, I'm still not a great ranged shooter.
Yeah.
So those early kills are easy because everyone's inside. There's tons of cover. You're inside looting houses. You're getting shotguns. You're getting Uzis.
People haven't scoped up.
Yeah,
yet.
that are just like fucking built for that environment. But as soon as it transitions to, okay, there's no more houses, play the long game, I don't have a long game.
Yeah.
Or at least I don't have a particularly great long game.
So you don't like the long game that matters is like 50 meters, right? 100 meters.
Yeah.
Like you can pretty safely, if you play quiet and hide, you can avoid 200 meter plus engagements, which unless you have a sniper rifle, are spotty even if you do have a long game. Like
Right.
I can dump 60 rounds at people 250 meters away and hit 6 shots, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not there's no science there. It's just it's hard to hit people that are moving if
Right.
they're far.
Yeah.
The way to kill people from far is if they stand still, you shoot them in the head with the Kar 98, and that's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Because everything else takes 2 shots that you're realistically gonna have.
Oh, right.
And once you shoot them once, they're going to start moving.
Mm-hmm.
So like get good at 100 meters, and that's what matters.
Yeah.
That's where your money's made.
Mm-hmm.
Life happens at 100 meters.
Yeah, you
That's
want to
what
get
you're saying.
chickens,
Yeah.
kill people 100 meters away.
Got to get those chickens.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'll still do the class if you guys want to take the shooting class.
We should do that at some
Yeah,
point.
we probably
Yeah.
should.
Yeah,
If people-
especially with the new scopes and the new ballistics make it a lot better now.
If people aren't totally sick of seeing that game yet.
People love watching that game.
Yeah.
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 So I hear.
A lot of highlight reels going around.
No kidding.
I don't know. My Monday's going to be pretty full in a few weeks here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, we'll have to
Some
pick.
other-
We'll pick a different day.
Got some sweet science coming?
Some other
Yeah.
Monday business going on.
No, there's
Potentially
that's
some other hunts.
one
happening.
of
Other
the
kind of,
big early games of
That's
2018.
right. That's right.
Monster Hunter
I'm not
World.
saying we're
Yeah.
doing that on a Monday, but
No,
I'm
no,
going to
no.
be doing it on a
Yeah,
Monday.
yeah.
but-
Yeah.
I played Wildlands.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I wanted to go hunt the predator.
Yeah.
What?
Is that still
that
going?
was the thing that finally got you in? Was
Well,
the Predator?
The PUBG was down and everybody had Wildlands, and
Yeah.
we were like, let's go hunt the predator.
Yeah.
We
Like
Like
weren't
the
high enough
actual
level.
movie Predator?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Is
the
that-
stupid shit that they need in
Is
that
that,
game.
is that still
Yes.
going, or was that a limited
It goes
time?
until like the middle of January, I think.
Okay.
There's a few more days at least.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That game is fun.
It is.
It's really like after listening to you talk about it, I just went in and turned the voice all the way down so I didn't hear the dialogue at all.
Yeah.
And that's fine like that. I didn't feel like I missed anything important.
No, yeah.
I just went to the marks and climbed towers and did all the Ubisoft game
Skip
shit.
every cutscene in the
Yeah.
single player because listening to the lady talk about how she wants to fucking torture the guy you brought her, like it just doesn't matter. It's just stupid.
But yeah, you get to a part of the map and it's like the jungle. You're near the jungle moves, and then you go talk to this lady, and she's all fucked up, and she's like, "Everybody's dead. It's all terrible." And then you find some real predator ass skull piles and
Weird.
skinned
Yeah.
upside down hanging people, and like it's real good. I mean, it's not good, but it's real good.
Yeah.
It's a certain kind of good.
It's
Cool.
it's kind of like playing that with 4 people is kind of what I wanted out of those Far Cry.
Yeah.
Like, you know how you do the mission, the camp clears in Far Cry 3 and 4.
Right. Yeah.
Like I wanted more of that than those games had, and this game seems like it has a lot of that if you're playing with multiple people.
Yeah, and if you're playing alone, it still has that, but it becomes like the AI is too powerful.
Little
Your AI is too
mechanical.
powerful. So
Yeah.
as soon as you get like a quarter of the way down the upgrade tree, you are taking out entire camps without moving because you're just like ordering your guy. Okay, kill those 3 guys. Okay, I'm gonna wait here 20 seconds. Okay, kill the what? Or it's gonna take me 20 seconds to find more targets with my drone.
Yeah.
Okay, those 3 guys next. Then we're crawling another 20 feet. Oh, the sync shot reset. Okay, great. Kill those 3 guys.
Yeah.
And that ended up being really fun for me in a weird way too, because it was like, man, this game is broken, and I'm exploiting this completely broken game.
But that
in a way that's
yeah.
like I'm still like having a
That
good
can still
time.
be
Yeah.
fun though.
Yeah.
It's like when you get to the end of Half-Life 2, right? You have this
Sure.
stupid overpowered thing,
Yeah.
and it's fun to be that guy.
Yeah. But you get it like
Yeah.
10 hours in on like 40-hour game, and you're like, all right, I guess I'll just
Not
go
even-
roll all these
yeah.
camps.
Like as
Yeah,
soon as
5
I had a
exactly.
sniper rifle, I was like, oh, this is going to be easy.
I got to a point where I wasn't doing most of my own shooting
Yeah, well,
because it was just the
pulling the
timers
strings,
were
huh, Jeff?
exactly.
yeah.
I was the announcer.
Man,
was
I've
Stark
lived that
weather.
announcer life.
Take them.
It's all coming together.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a quick break, and then we will come back and talk about some more stuff. Jason, during the break, you were frowning and shaking your head at your laptop.
Yeah, I think it's broken.
Oh,
I
no.
I opened it up and it was just like completely glitched out. So I'm like, all right, let me hard reset this guy, and then I tried to pull it back up and it's just black screen.
Oh man, I was hoping for a button update, but
Do a command
No.
shift.
didn't even
D.
get that far.
I'm kind of freaking out
Oh, no.
about that right now. Shit.
That's not good.
It's time for a new one anyway.
All right,
It's backed up, right?
Is it a company laptop?
Yeah.
Then whatever.
just throw it in the trash.
Somebody else's problem.
Just trash can right outside. Just put that MacBook in there.
That's where you put old MacBooks.
Yep. They just give them away like candy. Right
Get ready for that dongle
do.
life. That's what you're coming up on next.
We had to do that with Jan. We got him a brand new laptop.
Yeah.
But
I have
then,
one
all
with
of our
me
like,
right here.
external drives.
Oh, no.
Are all Thunderbolt.
I also
Yeah,
have
wow.
another one in my pocket because
Good.
I lost this one. So I found this one.
We had to special
Yo,
order a
dog.
bunch through IT. and
Dongle
it
life.
took
Yeah.
Is that the one with the single USB-C? Or
Yeah, this is the one with a single USB-C, and then I have one that goes to another USB-C 3.0 and then HDMI.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's great.
Yeah.
There's no good laptops in 2018.
Yeah.
It's all
That
laptops
seems
are done.
to be the case.
I keep thinking because I bought this MacBook Air in like, I don't know, 2011 or something.
Yeah.
And it's fine because all I do is type on it and whatever.
Sounds like you can't type on the new MacBooks very well.
No.
Great.
No, that
Sweet.
new keyboard blows.
That keyboard sounds like a disaster.
Yeah, Casey Johnston from Wirecutter and a bunch of other places did a thing about how a single speck of dust that gets in the wrong place in the keyboard on the new like scissor keys, short throw keys, basically means the key is inoperable and you have to take it in and have it fixed.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's bad.
That
You
sounds
would not-
really good.
I know you pretty well. I think at this point it would make you crazy.
Yeah.
That thin keyboard.
I bet.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
bad.
What's the gaming laptop situation looking like right now? Have you?
I have a Razer.
researched
I
much?
have several.
you're still like in the.
I still schlep them
like
around all the
bringing
time.
VR shit to
Yeah,
places.
I bring
so-
VR to everybody.
Suitcase PC.
My day-to-day carry is a Razer Blade, the 14-inch one, which is like
Daily driver.
Yeah, that's daily driver. It's like it's kind of the rough equivalent of the MacBook, the 13-inch MacBook Pro, the old one.
Okay.
It has real graphics. It has a 1060 mobile in it, which is capable of doing VR, at least for my purposes.
Yeah.
The problem is the battery life is like an hour maybe, because all of the space that your MacBook, it's the same size as a 13-inch MacBook essentially, a little bit bigger. All the space that MacBook uses, the MacBook motherboard is like a strip about the size of
a stick of gum.
stick of gum.
Yeah.
Yeah, on this, it's the battery is about the size of a stick of gum, and the rest of it's cooling for a giant ass video card and quad core. Those big giant like Sager chassis laptops that MSI and Gigabyte and all those guys make are fine, but they don't seem to last. Like they're fragile. Like I have an MSI one that I bought in 2016, I guess, that has been sent back for fixes twice. And it was out of warranty the last time, and they were like, "Yeah, we're just gonna fix it. We're not gonna charge you because we know this is fucked up and it shouldn't have broken."
Great.
Which is nice.
Yeah,
but also I didn't have it for 6 weeks.
Right.
So it's not,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I keep thinking like, eventually I'm gonna get to a point where I'm gonna have to get another laptop, and I've been thinking about Windows laptops for a while, but I keep looking at them and none of them really jump out.
Windows sucks.
Eh.
OS 10 sucks too. So it's like everything's fucking terrible.
Right.
Burn it all down.
There was a while there that like, I wasn't even playing that many PC games, so I had a desktop that I was never touching. So I was just like using the Mac for everything. I didn't even have any email, anything set up on that Windows machine at all. And now that I'm playing way more PC games, like I have it all set up there and it's fine. Like I haven't had too much trouble with it. So I'm at a point now where like I would be open to a Windows 10 laptop if it was, it's sufficiently fast or lightweight or convenient, with like, hey, good enough battery.
Pick two.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So
you can get battery, you can get games, or you can get like.
Well, the battery on this fucking MacBook is like.
Well, you can replace that.
Yeah,
one.
I know. It's like very much service required. So right now I feel like I'm living the life of like this basically has a 45-minute battery.
But that's a. I can't remember if that one's glued in. That one might be glued in.
Yeah.
If it's not glued in, it's a fucking 5-minute swap. It's really easy. Yeah. Even if it is glued in and you don't mind potentially catching some shit on fire, it's pretty fast.
Hey man, that's I found my blue laser that I bought off the internet over the weekend.
Wicked.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was burning leaves in my backyard one at a time, and then I realized like maybe not smart.
This isn't the good use of your time.
Yeah,
Jeff.
not a good year for fires in my neck of the woods. Maybe I should fucking not do this.
You'd go get some black balloons inside and pop them all at once.
Yeah.
Go to a goth party.
Well, I had it like as soon as I found it and then found the instruction manual that's like, here's how you enter the secret code to make it turn on, because it doesn't, because it's
of course
too powerful for just a regular switch. I immediately went and got a paper towel. I was like, let's set something on fire, and I was like, oh right, this is a white paper towel. Like it doesn't do anything.
It's just gonna reflect.
Yeah. I had my safety glasses. It was fine.
That's good. You need those black paper towels.
Yeah. Gotta get those.
Yeah, I don't know. Laptops suck.
I started to ask you because I like picking your brain about tech stuff.
Yeah.
When laptops are just going to go ARM based, but then I realized like it's kind of going at it from the other direction, right? Like with the iPad Pro and the Surface, it's more like the ARM products are just becoming laptops rather than laptops being busted down.
So I've long said that Apple has been inching toward ARM since the introduction of like the A8.
Wasn't the A11 this is the one where like clock for clock it's like faster.
Benchmarks
than
are tough between
right?
platforms because like
yeah.
the software is not the same. But yeah, for all I mean, they've been inching toward parity, and Apple likes to control every aspect of their stack. I have long thought that when they brought all of the so the early days of the iPhone and the iPad, they licensed chip designs from other companies. So ARM, you buy access to the architecture, and then you can kind of put shit on it that you want inside the die. You can design your own chips if you want, or you can just take off the shelf ones from Qualcomm or Samsung or whoever, and then tack on some external coprocessors. And that's what they did in the beginning. Now they have a team inside that's doing like licensing architecture and then designing their own custom chips that do exactly what they want. Which is why they're able to do things like image recognition and portrait mode and stuff like that without having multiple cameras and things like that now.
Right. Yeah.
But I think what they're going to do is put an ARM chip inside your laptops. So there's like a low power mode, and then if they want to flip on if you want to run legacy code, so apps that haven't been updated for ARM. Because right now the ARM stuff can't emulate x86 particularly well, even if it's fast.
Yeah.
So if you want to run your legacy x86 apps, I think they'll sell you a machine that has 2 processors in it, and it runs the ARM for like basic stuff, and then spins up to x86. I think that's the next jump.
Okay.
Although who knows? It's Apple, so they could just say fuck everybody and go full ARM, and you deal with it or not. Right. It's not like they're clearly
new
care
version
about
of Final
performance that
Cut
much.
only runs on
Final Cut 11.
Yeah.
XX.
Gross.
This is Xavier Cage? Xander Cage?
Yeah, Xander
Cage version of Final Cut.
Finally.
Yeah.
Finally, Final Cut.
All right, you guys want to talk about the news of the video game world?
Yeah.
Sure.
Since like 2 weeks ago?
Is
there news?
any?
Some stuff happened.
Oh, no.
Is it good stuff or like
Probably
shake your head stuff?
It's okay. This is a bummer to me.
No bummers, man. 2018 is no bummers. That's my rule for 2018.
I hope so. But I didn't necessarily elect to put this one first. It just kind of ended up there, but we might as well get it out of the way. Nintendo took golf out of the Switch.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Yes, Flog is technically the name of the Iwata tribute.
They got an exorcist and
motion enabled. Yeah, I don't know if there was any kind of ceremony involved or not, but yeah, according to the people who hack Switches,
yeah,
which trust them or not, I guess at your discretion. But according to them, yeah, I believe it was the first 4.0 firmware update. They say
gutted it. Huh?
All that code, the code was literally overwritten with garbage. Like it's like they tried to.
Maybe it's encrypted now.
Maybe, I don't know. I'm trying to find it.
It sounds so strange that they would just completely.
As opposed to just like locking it out in some way.
I mean,
it was already locked out.
Look,
actually, you had to be on that old firmware to even enable it in the first place.
Yeah.
So.
Unless there was a security issue.
That's probably
There's a buffer
a little more likely. There was some
you were able to bypass the root code.
So they've got there was it's every year around this time. I forget the name of the conference, but the same security conference where people like detailed a lot of 3DS stuff last year happened, and they came back with Switch stuff. And I don't think the exploits have been disclosed, and they only work on certain, I think it's like 3.0 or lower or whatever. So you can't, if you're playing games on a Switch modernly, this is already beyond you. For now, I guess. But yeah, it seemed like that they had gotten access through the browser and gotten access to a Switch in ways that they were not supposed to be able to, and as a result, they've got homebrew stuff booting on that specific firmware of Switch. So I could envision this being a scenario where they were like, "Hey, look, this is a great tribute, but also Iwata probably would not want us to leave a bunch of extra stuff in there that would be potentially used as an attack surface.
Yeah,
let's tighten it up." So
we didn't even make it to the date.
Right.
Not even the first one.
They could always put it back in for the date when the date gets near. There's nothing saying they couldn't just patch that back in a fixed form or something like that.
Yeah.
If they felt strongly about it, or
give
just
everybody the game.
Or
I don't know.
How about that?
I think it's way cooler that it's hiding in there and that you have to use weird motions to make it come
Look,
out.
I liked the little bird that used to walk around on the Wii UI.
Yeah.
Was it a bird? Remember there was in the menus there was a little thing that you could waggle at?
Yeah.
Am I imagining that?
I don't know.
It's not ringing any bells.
That's
to me. This reminds me of
yeah.
the snail game on the Master System more than anything.
There's a snail game in the Master System.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
I never
Early
knew anybody who had a
Master
Master System.
firmware had a game built into it, but it was like this maze game with a snail. Later firmware, they started building in like Alex Kidd or Sonic the Hedgehog and stuff like that. Like they started doing it for reals. But that first firmware, like you just hit a couple of buttons at the menu, and it would just hey, you should have put in a game before turning this on. That screen would scroll over, and there was a little maze game right there. It's neat.
Didn't even have a name. That's how obscure it was.
Yeah.
Huh.
Snails.
I never knew anybody who had a Master System when I was a kid. Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
I mean,
yeah.
I needed that Phantasy Star. I had to get it.
I never even
Golvelius.
That's right. Yeah, that's all there is to know. It's not in there right now. Hopefully, it will come back. But
or like they're getting ready to start charging for
yeah, they released an
access
arcade
to
game,
games.
right?
They didn't. Hamster did.
What?
They have not. This is not any kind of like, hey, this is our plan to roll out old games. This is just Nintendo. Some of Nintendo's arcade games have come out on the Switch.
even that Mario Brothers
Yeah,
release?
that's
that Mario Brothers arcade is a hamster.
It's versus Super Mario Brothers, the arcade release of Super Mario Brothers.
Wow. Is it part
which
of
is awesome because it's part of the arcade archives.
part of the hamster, the branding and everything?
Same menus, all that stuff.
It just seems very unlike Nintendo to let somebody else do something like that.
I think that it shows how much they actually really care about their arcade
okay, that's fair.
catalog. I think that they're not doing that themselves.
Also shows how much street cred hamsters got.
Yeah.
Is this the PlayChoice 10 one?
No,
because that was just normal
that's
Mario
just
Brothers,
normal.
right?
This is a version that was tuned for arcades, so it is harder. It has fewer extra lives, and you can continue. There's a high score board. There's extra music when you're doing entry of your name for the leaderboard and stuff like that. That music later showed up in Super Mario Maker.
Nice.
Yeah.
Man, I gotta get this. I didn't know that. I assumed this was like some weird PlayChoice 10 version of.
It is its own thing. It's cool. I bought it. It's exciting in a weird way because it's such a like no one thinks about this version of the game.
I didn't know that this version of the game existed. I don't think
so. It's cool that thing is out there for sale in some form.
That's right.
And then they did original Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
They put that out a while back, and I think they have others in the works. I'm not sure which ones are on the
Hopefully
list.
balloon fights coming.
Well, that would just be probably like more of a standard emulated NES release.
I thought there was an arcade of that, but it was probably
I think there was a PlayChoice. Actually, yeah, there probably was, but it might have just been the same.
It made it, yeah.
Huh. Some of those games were pretty much identical. You wouldn't necessarily sell them twice, but yeah, they're at a point where this is supposed to be the year when they start launching their paid online service, and that is supposed to come with some form of, hey, here's our old games.
Oh, right.
So maybe they're at a point now where golf does come out in an official capacity that way, or something like that.
Yeah, that's the August game.
Or maybe it's built in for free into that interface or something. It's just like, here you go.
Sure.
You can try this out or something like that.
Yeah.
In other Nintendo news, the Wall Street Journal reported that Nintendo is pushing back 64 gig game cards for the Switch.
Yeah.
They were supposed to come out later this year, but they are now being pushed to 2019, I believe it was.
Are they gigabit or gigabyte?
Gigabytes.
Byte.
Yeah. I think they go up to 32 is the max right now.
That sounds right.
They cited
for just game cards. Like you
Yeah.
can use like an external card that's bigger, but
they cited technical issues for the delay, but I brought this up because I'm trying to envision what a 64 gigabyte Switch game would even be.
And I don't want
I
64
would've
gigabyte
thought that
Switch
it was
games because then I'm
Doom
going
or
to
something.
download
Yeah.
them and
Well,
there
that-
won't be room.
I think
Yeah.
Doom is like 22 or something like that.
And
I
then
think
you
that's
still
the
have
biggest.
to, and you
So
still
that's
have to
the
download
full-
the multiplayer.
that's the full
okay.
download.
Okay.
But stuff like Mario is like 5.
right.
You
Yeah,
know,
it's
like
tiny.
a bunch of the first party games are like 3 to 5 gig.
Yeah.
Even Zelda wasn't.
Was it like Zelda
12
10
or
or
something?
Zelda
Yeah.
with all the DLC, I think it's like 14.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I've been rocking a 32 gig card and like it's been fine.
yeah. But,
Yeah.
But this is for commercial
for
games,
retail. So,
Yeah,
and that's the other thing is nobody's even like publishers are like cheaping out on even the 32 gig cards and like making you download a bunch of stuff already.
What?
Yeah, like what is it? LA Noire, Doom. Did Skyrim do it?
I'm not sure.
I know LA Noire and Doom, like you buy carts and they only wanted to spring for the small capacity carts. So you get like in Doom's case, I think it's you get the single player on the cart,
Right.
but if you want any of the multiplayer, you have to download like 10 gig.
I'm kind of okay with single player on the card because like if you're going to be but I mean also if you have bandwidth caps, that sucks,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think LA Noire you literally cannot play without downloading more data.
Maybe they should
I
do
think
it
it
like
says
a
on the
UMD.
box like
And
requires
NBA
it.
add
2K, I think actually.
Yeah, that's right,
is-
yeah.
is something where the well, no, I think the NBA 2K case was that like the size of the game was larger than the internal storage of the Switch, so you would definitely have to spring for external storage.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what that was, but yeah, I mean. It's like when they had to keep delaying, like with Zelda, or there were some of these other games because the chip shortage.
Oh,
they kept pointing to the
right.
chip shortage.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Which one was that? Was that Link to the Past?
MMC3. No, it was
Which
this
the
was
original
NES.
Zelda,
This was
yeah.
Zelda.
First
yeah.
Zelda?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was an 8 megabyte card or something, right?
No, not that big.
8 megabit card.
No, it wouldn't have
probably.
even been 8 megabit.
Really?
Yeah. No, Zelda's not that.
I guess
large.
back then,
It fit
yeah.
on a floppy disk.
Yeah, 'cause I guess I had a
So-
20 megabyte hard drive at that time.
Yeah.
So do you think this will push the release date of any ports?
I don't know. Well, that's the thing. Like,
wonder.
I can't envision what game would be even close to that big.
They would have to then say, okay, well, if you're going to ship your game, then
Make sure that like the
you'll have to
initial
download
size, or
this
if they'll-
data, or
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, they would just go with that strategy.
Yeah.
But
which is not a great.
I mean,
solution.
I wonder how many people are buying. Like, I've actually started buying carts for stuff that I think like my kid's gonna want to play.
Yeah,
Because I assume there's gonna be a second Switch in my house at some point,
Mhm.
and I don't want to have to rebuy. Like, I'm fine rebuying Mario Kart because I figure we'll play that with each other, and having
Right.
2 of those is a good thing. But like, I don't want to buy Mario Odyssey twice.
Yeah, that's sensible.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be. It should be that you should be able to have your account. Well, no, maybe not. I was gonna say you should be able to have your account in multiple places, and
But it's
do the
Nintendo.
primary, secondary thing. But
Yeah,
that's a weird loophole that, it's neat that Sony and Microsoft have ways for you to do that sort of
Yeah.
stuff. But it seems like a better deal than maybe it should be.
I have to assume they're just okay with that at this point, because surely they would have found a way to stop
I mean,
that
they
from
built
happening
the
if they
systems
weren't.
that way
Microsoft,
deliberately.
yeah, they
yeah.
didn't. They could
Yeah.
have turned that off with this generation shift if they
Yeah,
wanted.
like
to.
I know a bunch of people who do exactly that.
Yeah.
Just buy games once and share them across both of their consoles.
Yeah, we do that,
and they don't.
Yeah.
They don't.
I mean,
seem
my wife and I play multiplayer together.
Right.
We
Yeah.
play PS4s all the time.
They don't seem to mind.
Thanks, Sony.
Yeah, thank you.
Did you guys see this Limbo port to the Commodore 64?
Yeah.
What?
What is that
No.
thing? Well, it's obvious what I just said what it is, but
Yeah, I didn't actually look too deeply into
Yeah,
it, other
it's,
than to see it existed. But,
so it's one of the Playdead guys doing it.
oh,
I didn't go back and see if he's in the credits for Limbo. I guess he was probably there at the studio when that game came out.
Mm-hmm.
Also, he's like, hey, yeah, I'm also working on our actual next game. So, like, he jokingly said that this thing will probably come out in 2024.
Yeah.
But there's a trailer out there, and it is literally Limbo running on the Commodore 64.
Huh.
Like, it's kind of insane
Hmm.
to look
No
at.
reason why it couldn't. I mean, at least
Yeah.
in some form, not
Sure.
necessarily.
I'm trying to think if there's
Does it
any
look
wild physics in that game that
Right.
would be taxing on an old machine.
Well,
like
you
that,
probably
but
just wouldn't. I mean,
yeah,
yeah.
you'd find
You
a way
just
to
frame animate
yeah,
that stuff.
rebuild
yeah.
that. Yeah.
It's like amazing how evocative it is of the real thing.
Does it look like? Does it look like Out of This World or something? Is it like voxely?
No, it's just pixel
Or
art.
just like pixels? Okay.
Yeah.
I think I read it's black, white, and 2 shades of gray. That's the whole palette.
Was Limbo 2D or 3D?
It's 2D.
It was actually 2D art
Oh,
though.
2D art. I've actually always wondered how they did it.
Yeah.
Like the character is silhouetted, so you can't tell, but it
Yeah.
animates smoothly enough that it makes me think it's
It's probably
probably polygonal.
rendering polygonal
Yeah.
in some. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
or some kind of vector thing maybe. But
I bet there's probably a postmortem that explains
Yeah.
how they did that. But
anyway,
That's
yeah,
cool.
it's easy to Google that trailer up, and it's just a goofy curiosity, but it's kind of an amazing feat.
I love
Neat.
those 2D. Like I think you
Those
guys talked about the
breakdowns.
Mummy some.
Yeah.
Probably.
Demastered. Yeah.
Yeah, but that thing was amazing.
Yeah.
'Cause it was really good.
The game,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Really,
a good game.
well, and the fact that they made a like 2D side-scrolling Metroidvania
Licensed
promote a
game.
bad
What a
movie.
weird. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really like that's good use of tech.
Yes. Also, I probably harped on it enough in the game of the year, but I cannot overstate how much the soundtrack is like a huge part of why
It's
that game is
really
so
good.
That
good.
did sound really
The
good.
Yeah.
soundtrack
Great music.
is fucking killer.
Oh, I gotta get that.
Let's see here. You can't buy Transformers games anymore.
Why not?
They got pulled.
Oh, man.
From all
Fucking
services.
Decepticons.
Yeah, they got pulled first from Steam and PS4 or PlayStation Network.
Time for GoBots games.
That's right. I noticed you. guys.
Yeah,
Sure.
you ready to go?
Let's go.
Which one?
Bots.
Leader 1 versus
damn it. Okay, I
Psykill
was
in a
gonna-
fighting game.
Leader 1 is literally the only
Oh.
GoBot I can name.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got pulled off of PSN and Steam first, and then they were up for a few more days on Xbox. But I checked right before this, and they're gone from Xbox now too.
It's just
all of them.
You would assume that Activision just no longer has the license, and that expired, and that's that.
Sure.
I think it was a lot of games.
I don't remember hearing about this. So was it kind of just like unceremoniously?
It's like Fall of Cybertron and all that stuff too. Like the new ones and that throwback Platinum game.
Yeah. Yes, the Platinum game is gone. They're all gone. So it was December 22nd is when this went up on Kotaku.
Okay.
The story I've got here.
I should go on.
War for Cybertron, Fall of Cybertron, Rise of the Dark Spark.
Oh yeah, that Dark Spark.
Devastation, which is the Platinum one that you mentioned. Yeah, I guess maybe Activision's not making Transformers games anymore.
No, they're definitely not.
Yeah. Which leads one to wonder if anybody will make Transformers games anymore.
I mean, I felt like those. Did they sell? Do we know?
I don't know. Maybe not.
They made three.
Those first that trilogy, or at least the first two of them. The third one, I want to say, that was the one that High Moon didn't do.
The third one was a movie tie-in because Rise of the Dark Spark is
Rise of the Dark Spark
Mark.
was the movie tie-in one.
Yeah.
that was rough.
Yeah,
but then the first
two were okay.
Yeah, for what they were, they weren't like amazing games, but like that was the case where like my understanding was that they liked the design of those Transformers so much that Hasbro went and made toys of those. Like after the fact. And they had this weird kind of, hey, we're doing Cybertronian forms, but we've been better about evoking what you know about these Transformers a little bit better.
Is this probably the biggest group of like licensed games that's been pulled down at once? Like I've definitely seen other stuff. Marvel vs. Capcom. There's been some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff.
Yeah, that story mentioned the big Marvel purge.
But that's a lot of.
Yeah, this might be a lot
games.
to happen all at once. Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
And like big, but like kind of big game. Like sometimes those other ones were really like
fairly recent.
It was like, but in some ways it was kind of a different time because you were still seeing like this type of licensed thing happening. Like it was not a big game in the sense of like the things you expect out of Activision.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
but it was still bigger than a lot of other stuff, I guess.
If anything, it was weird that Activision was making like in a world where Activision has two games in its booth at E3. It was weird that they were making Transformers games.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And these are still available to download.
Yeah, if you
purchase them,
I should hope so.
Okay.
I feel like we'd see a way bigger
That's
outcry.
usually how this works.
Well,
is you can re-download.
Yeah, and they're disc games
not
too.
always.
So if you have the disc, it'll you can continue to buy discs.
Yeah.
It's just our digital nightmare future.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not quite here yet. I always meant to play more Devastation. That thing, I don't know if
it's pretty
like,
alright.
I got stuck. It was hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never got past, or I basically got through the first level, but like they just nailed the look of that thing so well.
Oh yeah.
I just never enjoyed playing it very much.
But it seemed kind of rudimentary.
The Constructicons were real bastards. I couldn't get past.
They
them.
always are.
Devastator, do you rough?
Devastator wreck you.
That's what he does.
Yeah, it was a serviceable platinum combat game for sure. Had a really good look, but
kind of the Legend of Korra kind of
tier invoke that
tier
game.
Like
of
that
platinum.
Ninja Turtles game.
Yeah.
Invoke that one either. I bought a new Ninja Turtles game. Jan saw it. What the hell was it called? Do you remember?
I don't even remember.
It was
Portal something.
Yeah,
maybe?
it was a port of some sort of mobile game, but they had some really good costumes in there.
Yeah.
That sold me on it. But man, that game was awful. Something that just came out on Steam like a few weeks ago.
Weird.
Are Ninja Turtles out for Injustice yet?
Not yet.
When is
Not
that?
yet.
That's a little ways off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Raiden's in there.
Is he?
Yeah.
Like Metal Gear Raiden or
Yeah.
Mortal
No,
Kombat Raiden?
Mortal Kombat Raiden.
Okay.
Who would win in a fight?
Mortal
Kombat
Kombat
Raiden.
Raiden.
Think
He's
so?
a fucking
He's a
thunder
god.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Who would win in a fight? Thor or somebody who's not a god? That's easy.
He can summon Kid Thunder at any moment.
That's fair. Okay.
Yeah.
When you put it that
he
way.
can headbutt people with that pointy hat.
Mm-hmm.
Kid Thunder.
Fucks you up.
Did you guys see this this leak of the Destiny Music of the Spheres?
Yes.
Yes.
That took place over the break?
Nope.
What weird stuff happening over the break?
There's
Just
like a PSN store page with details.
Huh.
what?
Really?
That
I didn't miss
thought
that
I
part.
saw
Oh, what? How?
of like here's DLC 2.
No. This is this is Marty O'Donnell's like symphony.
Oh,
from
that
the
thing.
original
Okay,
game.
sorry. No.
Oh, okay. What was that about? Like they just put up details about the second DLC.
Yeah, like hey, here's new faction.
I
New...
played a bunch of Destiny 2 for some reason yesterday and came out of it going, "Why did I do that?"
What would you play on PC or on
PS4. I didn't have it in me to level a character on PC all the way.
See, I feel like I need to level a character on PC for the expansions.
That seems
I
like
don't
what-
think anybody's playing on the PS4
Yeah,
anymore.
well, like I had no problem getting in strikes and Crucible matches, and like the tower was populated, but our
no one
clan-
I
I mean, my
know-
friends
Yeah,
aren't playing
right.
on the
My
PS4
friends
anymore.
list and our clan is fucking dead on
Yeah.
the console, which is kind of a bummer.
Those characters are stored server side, right?
Yep.
Like,
Yeah,
There's no reason.
if you're
Right.
asking what I think you're asking, then
Yeah.
there is no reason they couldn't do that.
I would pay $5-10
Yeah,
for a
I would
transfer.
happily
totally.
pay.
I would
I would pay the
absolutely-
entire price of the game again to not have to level.
Ooh,
$40. I'd pay $40. I'm
That's-
paying myself $1 an hour to not have to do
you
that shit
could-
again.
if you
I'm
could-
happy to do that.
As someone who already has done that shit again
Yeah.
on PC, not the raid or anything like that, but at least like leveled up close
Yeah.
to the cap again.
Did it take that long?
No.
Okay.
Once you start skipping
If-
cutscenes
yeah.
and stuff like that, you,
What
you
is it?
really
Yeah,
knock
fair.
that shit
What is it?
out.
Okay.
6 hours maybe?
Yeah.
I don't
Maybe
want-
oh,
maybe
okay.
8.
Yeah.
Still, I
So
don't
I'd
wanna
pay.
go through
Okay,
that
I'd
grind.
pay $20. I pay
mean,
$24. $4 an hour. That seems fair.
You can easily hit level 20 before you finish the story. And then
Totally.
that opens up a bunch of stuff.
I just don't want to have to go do all the fucking the rare gun drop quests again.
Just don't, because you don't actually need those fucking
I want
guns.
that mini tool.
Well,
I need that mini tool.
No, because it's
Gun's good.
that meta's done.
What?
You can-
There's,
dude,
the expansion came out. There's new guns. Like, there's no point in getting the good old guns.
Yeah,
But
that's
I
true.
like the way that gun. It feels
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
in the hand. You know.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. I don't know about that thing. That DLC was not.
I didn't
Was not a good
look.
feel
Do it
any
for
FOMO about not buying that DLC.
I hear
and
the
not playing
raid
that
stuff. I hear
DLC.
that new raid stuff is really good, but
Like the story stuff is boring.
It's not great. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I ended up doing the new strike for the DLC, which is just one of the story missions again with the same boss
Sweet.
and everything.
That's
And the joke is that it's all in a simulation, so
Yeah.
of course you're running the same simulation
Uh-huh.
again. And there's a joke at the end about, hey, didn't we do this once before?
Oh, that makes it okay.
Hey guys, I got a great idea
Yeah.
about a way to get a lot more content into Destiny 2 real fast.
Let's hear it.
Let's just put the same stuff out there again.
Uh-huh.
Bump everybody up like 3-4
All
levels.
right.
Call it a strike.
Done.
And then put it in the next DLC.
Let's do it.
Okay.
I love this plan.
Double the
I
content.
love this plan.
I will be surprised by the end of Destiny 2 if most of, or a lot of Destiny 1 is not in there. If they have not found a way to transition a lot of those things into this game.
Damn it.
But that would be welcome at this point. I
Yeah.
think people would view that as like, oh, Destiny 1's back. Finally, it's one cohesive universe like you pitched.
I want that sweet loot cave. Just
Mm.
give me that loot cave.
Sure.
Shoot it all day long.
Yeah.
Keep shooting in there.
This, yeah. Can't talk. This is a family podcast.
Yes. Anyway.
Sorry.
Yeah. So there was a thing called Music of the Spheres, which is like a symphony arrangement of the Destiny score that Marty O'Donnell had done back, like prior to Destiny launching, which I guess has been
Prior
like
to Destiny 1 launching?
yeah, because
Oh.
he was fired from Bungie before Destiny 1 came out.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And yeah, apparently this thing has been sitting on the shelf for the last 4 years, basically.
Wow.
And somebody leaked it over the
somebody
holidays, so
leaked
now
it.
it's
Somebody.
just out there.
Huh.
And he was all over the place on like Twitter and stuff,
He was ready.
talking about how happy he was that somebody had put it out there.
Hmm.
Like he was
Oh,
just he was
weird
very
coincidence.
very
Yeah.
much it's very much like I legally can't say this is okay, but
Did
it's
Did
totally
Marty
okay.
O'Donnell also leak multi-bowl for that 8-hour stretch?
I don't know.
Hold on, what's
Wait.
multi-bowl?
Did that leak too?
Yeah.
Oh no.
And it seemed like a similar situation where it showed up on archive.org with hey, what's this? And then it was like, oh, I guess it's
Huh.
That's
Interesting. That's
'cause
the
it
Ben
had all
Foddy
the-
thing.
Yeah,
right?
it had all the ROMs in it.
Oh,
why. So
That's
it was-
the
it's the multiplayer MAME.
it's kind of
Thing.
WarioWare for old
I
arcade
know
games.
what
Yeah.
multi-bowl is. I
Yeah.
didn't know it had a name, but
Yeah.
I played it at a festival
Okay.
a couple
Oh,
years
wow.
ago, and it is fucking amazing.
I've never played it. I've just seen
Oh my
Yeah.
god, it's the best.
stuff about it. It looks fucking awesome.
It's you're playing. It's literally like Wario. You get in, the way you score points or way you win is not anything to do with the way the actual game worked.
Yeah.
do they
and
always spell it out when you land?
Sometimes
in the game?
maybe
Okay.
depends on the game. I don't
Yeah.
know. Like the Crazy Climber one was real weird. You had to get to the side of the level or something. I can't remember. Like it is an awesome game to play with like 4 people while you're drinking beers. Really, really good.
I would like to play that.
He also made a game called like Speed Chess or something like that. Did you guys ever see that?
No, I don't think so.
So it was how many characters are on a chessboard? 3, 4, 5, 12, right, on each side.
Oh yeah, sure.
So it was
yeah.
a 12-player game with 12
Oh, wow.
nest
Okay.
pads, and each person
Oh,
controlled
yeah.
one unit, but you could only move the way the units moved in chess, and it all happened
Yeah.
simultaneously.
That's real good.
So it's just fucking
Yeah.
chaos.
Yeah,
It
that's
was
cool.
Awesome.
That's dumb.
I think that was Bennett. It might have been somebody else, but it seems
Yeah.
like a Bennett game.
Hmm.
You guys play any more Getting Over It?
Yeah.
That game's really
Yes.
good.
Yeah.
I got up that tight chimney area last night for the first time, and then
that's satisfying.
and then immediately flung myself back to the bottom.
Yep.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, cool,
I
great.
saw a speed run of that, like 2 minutes or
Yeah,
something.
2 minutes
like
yeah,
that.
there was
15
like-
seconds or something. Yeah.
Jeez.
So the ending is just like obscured, like, well, not obscured, but like there's a screen that says you promise you're not streaming this, you're not recording this. Okay, then you can watch this.
Yeah, it
Interesting.
makes you kind of opt into the ending.
Oh wow, that's cool.
There is a video out there of
I'm
what
sure.
what
Yeah.
that thing is. I
Yeah.
looked it up. I looked that up last night as well. It's neat.
I think I
weird.
can get to the end of that game. Like I'm past the hot tub now.
Okay.
And like I've had to go down to go back up,
Yeah, of course.
and like there's a part that looks really nightmarish there.
Have you watched any of the speed runs? Do
No,
you know
I'm
what's
not.
ahead?
I'm intentionally not watching.
Okay, yeah,
But
there's-
there's like the people in like I stream when I'm playing it,
Yeah.
and people are like, you're okay, you're in a good spot. Like I don't know. The game's amazing though.
I love it. I quit at the beginning again because that's how it goes.
Oh, see, I always get back to where my highest, like, there's two types of people that play this game. You either
Yeah.
quit at the beginning when you fall, or you get back to your furthest accomplishment and then you save there.
I kind of
wait. Can you save?
Yeah, it
yeah,
saves
it
whenever you
automatically
quit.
saves. Yeah.
Oh.
I figure that I'm not playing it every day or anything like that. I'm
Yeah.
playing it like once a week.
Yeah, that's how I do it.
So starting at the bottom again is a good like refresher for just like I know how to get past this stuff. Let's get the muscle memory cooking again.
Yeah.
Before I get up to the hard stuff, and that's worked out
Are
pretty
you
well.
low mouse sensitivity or high mouse sensitivity?
I'm default. I have not touched it.
Okay. I mean, okay.
I went lower and had an easier time.
Yeah, it's much easier. I turned the DPI on my mouse down, and that helped some.
Hmm.
But that game is it's monstrous and astounding and wonderful and
Yeah.
terrible.
I played just enough last night to get like a new bit of dialogue, and that was enough for me to go like, okay, I flung myself back down to the bottom while that dialogue was still playing.
Yeah.
But cool. All right.
Oh,
good.
you got a new. So most of the dialogue I'm getting now is new. You've failed dialogue, which is
Yeah.
like it's like rewarding you for
right.
sucking. I don't know.
It's a great thing.
The fun thing about this is there's always a moment when I'm like, oh right, I should stop playing now because I'm starting to flail randomly and it's going to end badly.
Oh,
but I
yeah.
can't stop playing.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, it's good.
It's something.
You should play Getting Over It.
You should. Lastly, because we have an impeccable sense of timing, on the last podcast, like, what, 12 hours after we talked about how Magic Leap has not done anything in years,
Right. Yeah.
Magic Leap announced their product.
Yeah.
Talk
Well,
about
a
it.
product.
Talk about it.
It's a developer
Yeah,
kit
yeah.
that they're shipping sometime this calendar year.
Yeah.
And now they're taking like, hey, give us your email address for when you want to know about getting this thing.
Yeah. It's called the Magic Leap 1.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's basically a dev kit kind of thing, but at least we know what that. I don't know if I should call it a headset or not, but we know what it looks like. The goggles.
It's
What are-
goggles.
what are we calling
yeah,
that thing?
Goggles, a headset.
Yeah.
Glasses.
Yeah.
I think is what
Glasses. Is that their
that's what I would.
Yeah,
term,
because
term
it's
of
AR,
art?
so you see through them.
You see through 'em.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fair.
Looks pretty cool.
I am curious to see this like light projected onto your eyeballs, whatever
Yeah.
technique it is. That sounds like it would potentially be the next step forward in some of this shit.
What's that
But,
supposed to do?
burn your eyeballs to a crisp.
Right.
I don't fucking
Well,
know.
finally.
It's supposed to the
Ultimate
way they
visual-
pitch it is that it's
visualization
supposed
of
to
AR,
it's
right?
supposed to make the AR stuff look a little bit more real than it would if it was just like in the
Oh, I
glasses.
see. I see. Okay.
It's more of a projection.
Yeah.
I guess
You're
Yeah.
seeing something that has a 3D. It has depth baked in rather than something that's superimposed based on binocular vision or something
Right.
like that.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it in person. Everybody I know
Really?
that has is like it continues to be effusive about the
Yeah.
hollow. Like they're actually producing what are essentially holograms as far as your brain is concerned.
Huh.
Yeah.
But believe it when I see it.
I'm
Yeah.
waiting for the Black Mirror episode, I guess. We'll see.
Yeah.
yeah. Let's see what kind of social commentary comes
They'll
out
just,
of this.
they'll just
before-
rename the show to whatever take on these goggles they can come up with, and that'll be that. We'll see. You know, the way the Wired article was very much like, we're gonna get all the monitors off our desks and just use the goggles for everything. And I mean, if they've got a high enough, but
their-
that's the
if their
thing, though.
DPI is
if
enough,
their
I'm into
DPI is
that.
high enough, like yeah, sure, why not?
It's more about the chilling image of an office full of people
Yeah.
just sitting at desks with goggles on, staring off into space.
The
I mean,
ultimate in
what's different-
privacy,
what's-
except for the part where there would be no privacy.
What's different between that and us all standing in the train station with our heads down?
It's strapped to your face.
Have you ever done the thing when you're standing at the train station, nobody has their phone out, and you pull your phone out and watch everybody else pull their phone out at the same time?
No.
Because
Yeah.
once one person does it, it triggers everybody.
That's like the old college lecture trick of 5 minutes before class is over, somebody in the back starts wrestling their
Yeah.
back around, then everybody starts packing up.
Oh yeah,
Or
Yeah.
everybody yawns
I
at the same time.
I don't know. I want no more monitors. I want just big giant windows everywhere. A window on Jeff's face right now.
Yeah, if they can get like a high enough refresh rate and all this other
Yeah.
stuff, and high enough like perceived resolution, like great.
Why wouldn't I do that?
Yeah.
I could have my like email notifier right on your cheek right now. I'd be like, oh, I have 3,000 emails to answer. That's great.
Yeah.
Terrific.
You could be answering them right now.
Never forget.
Yeah.
Just everybody's looking around all the time.
But I
Eyes
mean, this is the
everywhere.
first step toward a thing you never take off, right? Like that's
That's
the thing that is alarming to me.
Yeah. Well,
Like-
it's a thing that you eventually get implanted into your body,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
I want that version 1. Just give it to me.
yeah.
No.
And then after your marriage falls apart, you frantically run in the bathroom and grab a razor blade and cut it out of your head.
Oh Jesus.
Well,
you
hold on,
don't
wait.
remember. Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Have they? I mean,
It's probably fine.
sure everything will be.
It's going to be
fine.
great.
Yeah.
Just think about it. It's be like Facebook, but even better.
I'm gonna.
Oh,
look,
yeah, there
I'm-
you go.
I'm gonna look at a hovering pizza, and then it's gonna order me a pizza.
Yeah, I'll be like, I'll think
Yeah.
about pepperoni, and it just shows up 30 minutes later, and my credit card is automatically debited before I even knew I wanted it.
Exactly. I'm gonna sell a new ad blocker. It's gonna be called the tinfoil hat,
No.
and you
Okay.
will wear it. It will
Okay.
intercept. All right. Did you ever see that first limited, the first miniseries of G.I. Joe when Duke has the mind control thing on, and then
Yeah.
the woman gives him the fucking little thing to put in between it to disrupt the signals? Someday
gonna
we're
be that.
all gonna need those.
That's true. You're going to sell it on late night TV.
Yeah.
If you
Look-
order now, you get a second one.
No, it won't
absolutely
even,
free.
Yeah, it won't even be like we'll have to sell them in back alleys and
Okay.
shit like that.
All right, now you're
Yeah,
talking.
I still have my ROM puller. I can
Yeah.
pull a ROM out of you right now. You need
Great.
a ROM out? I got it.
Do some chip ripping.
Yeah, we'll rip your chips.
I did that over the holidays as well.
Man, I was so bummed that I missed that.
Yeah.
That game is so good.
We played every level of Syndicate,
Did you
Jeez.
stream that? Because I wanted to
the
go back and
co-op.
watch it.
Yeah. No, we did not stream it. No.
How many are there? Like 6 or something?
10,
Oh, wow.
8 or 10 or something
How long
like
did
that.
it take? Like 5 or 6 hours?
No, not even. It was
Okay.
you know,
Really?
like it was maybe like 2.5,
Shit.
something like that.
Do I need to go back and replay single player so I remember how that game works, or does
No.
it kind of onboard
No,
you?
it doesn't necessarily onboard you, but if you played any of it before,
Yeah.
like the loadout stuff is pretty obvious. The only thing about it that's not obvious when you go back is researching the new unlocks. Of like if you want like some
Like
other
which would-
ability, like how to spend your points and unlock the additional guns and abilities and stuff. That
All I
stuff's a
want is the
little
thing that
weird.
makes people kill themselves.
That is only in the single player. The suicide stuff is only in the single player. So there's nothing. Yeah. It's all guns and chip ripping and all that sort of stuff.
That's okay. Chip
Yeah.
ripping's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Was that the last?
You're talking about Syndicate here, just
Yes.
since we've never
Oh,
said
yeah.
the name.
Yeah.
Of the
No, we
game.
did. We did at one point, I think. But
Was
yeah,
that the last Starbreeze game before a bunch of people took off to go make Wolfenstein?
I believe that's
Were
the case.
they
I
still
believe
there for
is a
that?
pre-machine games.
Okay.
Starbreeze is the Riddick people,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The darkness. Yeah.
God, I
And
forgot.
that wide vision
The weird-
VR
weird
headset.
VR headset.
Oh, the
Star
the
VR or
Star
whatever it's
VR.
supposed to be
Yeah,
called.
I've used that at that's the
They had it
IMAX thing in
E3 and
LA.
stuff, yeah.
Well, I mean, but they have it
Oh.
in like you can go to the IMAX theater, VR theater in LA at the Grove and try out some
Oh.
shit there that uses that headset.
Hmm.
It's not. I wouldn't recommend it. Like the IMAX thing, not the Starbreeze. I mean, the Starbreeze thing
Gotcha.
was fine.
All right. Well, that's all the regular news stories I've got. We were talking about going quickly through the year to come in games
I've got my
Right.
eye
Yeah.
on a couple things.
to
Yeah.
see what's what. I've got, if you at home want to follow along, I pulled up the 2018 in video gaming Wikipedia page, which is usually pretty thorough about stuff coming out.
Sure.
I guess we'll just kind of go through and call out some big stuff, such as 2 weeks from now, Street Fighter V Arcade Edition.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does that count as a big
this,
release?
This is season 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, big gameplay. Well, all right. This is some pretty significant gameplay changes, I guess. For people that have been, deeply invested in this game, it's going to change a lot of shit. But
Yeah.
somebody who's been staying away, this might be a good chance to jump back in. I'm actually kind of excited for it. I want to.
Well, they had like some of the new characters. A team battle or like team versus mode or something.
That seems kind of
like
cool.
Stuff around the edges.
Yeah,
that seems kind of cool.
Yeah, that seems like something that it's a nice bonus for sure.
Yeah.
But fundamentally, having 2 like V triggers and stuff, there's going to be a lot of variety in that game.
We got, I'll say this, we got multiple emails this week from people complaining about which characters are not in Season 3, so people still care enough.
Yeah, I mean, every email I sent you just said there's no Skullomania in this game. Why would I play it?
Right.
That beta ended on Christmas.
Did it? Oh, that's right.
Oh, was that a beta? That wasn't a demo?
Yeah, it was a beta.
Oh, no.
We couldn't do any local verses. I was pretty bummed about that.
Yeah.
I wanted to do that on Extra Life, but still, it was nice seeing Skullomania.
I feel like you could get in training mode and do 2-player though.
Yeah, you couldn't tab over to the other selections.
I did not spend enough time with that thing. I liked it a great deal though.
I spent enough time to realize that that's a new incarnation of that old engine. You can string supers together. That's dumb and fun.
Yeah, it's that EX mess. Like their gem system stuff. I think looks fucking dumb.
I don't like that. That's going to be hard as shit to balance.
And well, I wonder like how they'll implement it in the final game because it's like preset loadouts in this beta. If it's that, then they could balance that. If it's hey, pick whatever 5 things you want, then that's the same problem Street Fighter Cross Tekken had of like I don't want to do this.
There's going to be preset stuff for you to choose, of course.
But
this
might
might
bring
bring
it being
it's already a messy ass game.
Yeah,
this is going to make it way more messy, and that might be great.
It might be great. It might be great.
That's actually not on this list.
Yeah.
Yet. I don't know what the release
I don't know what
it was announced for I think they said 2018 for it.
Okay.
Yeah. And I don't know if it has a sound test or not. So we don't know if it's going to be a great fighting game.
Cannot apply science just yet.
That's fair. We'll no doubt gloss over some games here that we maybe should talk about because we haven't heard of them. But this is just a raw ass list.
You mean you haven't heard of Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth?
No,
I've Hacker's Memory.
Keeping close tabs on that one.
It sounds pretty great.
Yeah,
it has all the things I want.
Mm-hmm. Hackers,
Cyber.
But, there's all kinds of games on here.
I
like,
don't want Digimon.
Like Deathmark or The Impatient, which actually I have heard of The Impatient. That's a PSVR thing. Yeah. Kirby Battle Royale. I don't know what that is. That's on 3DS.
It's 100 Kirby's.
Okay.
Fuck. Nice job, Jason.
Kirby BR.
Let's see. 26th of January is shaping up to be.
They showed the Kirby Battle Royale thing at E3. I remember it looking like the footage looking neat. It sounds like that's already out in Japan.
A platform fighter or what's the deal?
No, I don't believe it's a fighter. I think it is
a brawler video game played from a top-down perspective is what the Wikipedia page says.
Interesting.
Okay, yeah, okay, because they've announced a handful of Kirby games, so it's easy to get them confused.
Yeah. The 26th.
Oh God,
that's the day.
That's the day.
Okay, are we going with Fighters? It's not Fighter Z.
It's Fighters.
Fighters.
It's one word though. It's not Fighter space Z.
You gotta add emphasis
to
the Z because it's capitalized.
Because it's Dragon Ball Z, so they need a Z.
Oh yeah,
Fighters.
that's a good point.
No, I thought it was Dragon Ball Z.
No.
Z.
I think it's Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
Why is it not Dragon Ball Z Fighter?
I know, right? It's a little
it's like
strange.
people naming games.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
Anyway, like most or all of us are excited about the release of Dragon Ball game, which is
that
fucking bizarre.
I've never played a Dragon Ball game.
But it looks really good.
Cool.
I had a terrible time in that beta because I had no idea what I was doing.
Yep.
And I'm worried that that's not going to change. But I
think there's going to be enough onboarding stuff for that game to.
I will definitely give it a go.
Oh, that's an ARC game.
Yep.
Yeah. Through and through.
That's an ARC game.
Is that a bad thing?
It's going to be complicated.
Okay.
It could be.
Well, yeah. I mean, probably not as complicated as some other ARC games. Like they did, some of the other stuff they've done that has been, maybe a little more licensed, like the Persona stuff. Like, was slightly more accessible.
Back.
Yeah. Though I actually played some of that Persona game recently, and you forget like how many different cancels, like the one more cancel, and all. Like there are a lot of systems in that fucking game. It is thick.
What else is coming out that day?
Yeah,
nothing
so
really. It looks
Jason may just die of joy on the 26th because in addition to Dragon Ball, Monster Hunter World is also coming out.
That's going to be a life-changing.
And then he'll throw those games away in a couple of days because Dissidia Final Fantasy NT's out on the 30th.
That game looks all right.
Are they getting preemptive multitasking and like multiple user accounts?
This is Dissidia. Yeah, it's for networking.
Yeah.
Team-based
for
3D brawler.
Yeah. Dissidia for work groups never really did it for me.
No, you need that full Win32 networking stack
for sure.
Wait, you don't have
Winsock
to. You don't have to install Trumpet.
No,
Dissidia
it's right in
anymore?
there
It's right
from the
there.
big,
Wow.
big get-go.
That's amazing.
Dissidia
Pop
looks all right.
PPP client,
I
client, the whole thing.
Don't remember much enjoying the last.
No, either I did
Dissidia.
not like the first one. This one,
I was
pretty fun.
describing to my wife how PPP and Slip, like what the internet was like before.
Did you make
the
modem
web.
sounds with your mouth?
No, she had dial-up before
Okay.
at one point. So
Yeah,
that
I
part, but this is-
don't think a lot of people appreciate how hard it used to be just to get on the internet.
I paid $100 for a box with Netscape Navigator and Trumpet and Winsock and PPP client because you couldn't fucking get them if you didn't have access to the internet.
I guess, yeah.
You couldn't
Yeah.
get that
Yeah,
shit.
Sure.
I had access to the internet. I had a dial-up, like a shell account that you
nice.
just dial into a bash prompt at the
Yeah.
junior college,
Mhm.
and I could get all that stuff
Wow.
that way. But yeah, it was.
Wasn't there was some
I was
reason?
describing to her how AOL ruined Usenet and how AOL ruined the internet at large.
It's the
when
what
they
is it?
got
It's
Eternal
It's
September.
the Eternal September.
Yeah.
I was part of the Eternal September.
God
Were you?
damn it, Will.
Yeah, I was a freshman in college that fall.
What year was? Is there an official
93.
year?
September
that the year?
93.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's the year that most big universities gave on new students access to either I got a Vax account. I didn't have a Unix account because
Okay.
that was only for CS majors. But we were able to use Usenet and IRC through the Vax, and like all of the common room in the end of my dorm floor had a bunch of dudes I think were from Malaysia, and they talked to their family at home on IRC. Like that's how they communicated
yeah.
back
Wow.
home because it was
That's cool.
free.
Right. Yeah.
And they taught me how to use IRC and Usenet, and like fucking changed my life.
Yeah.
The rest was history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
IRC changes a lot of people.
But that's so that was yeah.
I was
yeah.
a big poster in alt.binaries.willwheaton.die, and
Ooh.
you know all the
all the
classic
hottest
bangers.
groups of the day.
Yeah.
Have you since gone on to meet him? at some point?
Yeah, I know. Will. It's,
Yeah,
I
thought
didn't. I
so.
didn't bring that
Okay,
up.
I figured.
The best one was the FNet Pound Quake. Because
sure.
it was a pretty even mix of people who were really excited about Quake in like 1994 before it came out,
Yeah.
and also people who would come in looking for stuff about talk about earthquakes.
Right. And like, hey, did you just feel that?
Yeah.
Oh, I felt it.
5.3 in Venezuela, man.
Absolutely.
Shit is popping off.
Oh shit. But yeah, September '93 was also the month that AOL got proper
Big,
internet
right?
access.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh.
it was the year that they hooked AOL up to the fucking
I
internet.
didn't know that.
So that is why it ruined it.
because I thought it was all the college freshmen.
Yeah, no, it was the never-ending flow of people that were somehow worse than college freshmen.
Look, the one thing I think we can all agree on is that the more people that have gotten access to the internet, the worse the internet has gotten
Exactly.
every single
But-
time.
But also, no, because if think about it, that didn't happen. Like the fucking arrogant fucks that we were
Look,
in '92.
We would all be in the well now.
Yeah.
We'd all be cyberpunks. We'd have goggles and like a wetsuit
We'll
with
have
some sensors
goggles
and
this
shit
year.
on
They're
it.
putting them out.
You're not gonna have those goggles. Those aren't goggles. Those are goggles for
Yeah.
developers.
All right.
They're
So
developer
goggles.
We would have ascended to become members of the techno aristocracy.
Yeah,
Is that what
we'd all
you're
be
saying?
hanging out at Kevin Kelly and Bruce Sterling's
Yeah.
houses,
Talking about, are you serious?
right, and drinking some craft brew.
No, it'd be Ginkgo biloba smart drinks.
Oh fuck, that
We'd all be at the BattleTech Center drinking fucking smart
God,
drinks.
that sounds so good.
I know.
Why did you ruin it? It's all people.
America Online. Steve Case ruined it.
That was my
Steve
first
Case.
path onto the internet.
Yeah.
Because was there a reason that Windows didn't ship with the socket layer by default besides oversight? Like, did they just
Windows
not think
3.1.
Yeah.
There's
It
no
just
reason.
didn't
Nobody
exist when
fucking
Windows
yeah.
3.1
Windows
came
3.1
out.
came out.
Is that all? Is that all?
It was on
There
5
just-
floppy disks,
There was
man,
just there was just no need for it.
or 3 floppy disks
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
Windows 3.1.
I guess so.
Remember, Windows 3.1 was just a shell over DOS.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could quit Windows.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you would to play video
you
games.
Quit.
I made boot discs, man.
Dude,
Yeah.
yeah.
I had a TIE Fighter disc.
Fucking, there was nothing worse than getting a computer game for Christmas and not being able to play it because you couldn't, like, you didn't have enough conventional memory to run the damn thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I remember spending a Christmas making a boot disk to move my mouse driver into high memory.
DOS 4GW, man, that changed
Yep,
everything.
that's right.
Yeah, right.
That was, in fact, a game changer.
I spent some time with DOS. I played a significant amount of Jill of the Jungle over the break.
Ooh,
actually,
that's bad, right?
it's it's very DOS 1992.
I loaded,
So it's great.
I loaded up TI 99 4A emulator to see if those games held up.
Yeah.
Parsec's still pretty
Parsec,
good.
I played some Parsec last week.
Parsec's okay.
It doesn't handle real well, but you can play it.
That Scott Adams adventure game, the Yo Ho Ho and a
Oh,
bottle
yeah.
of rum one, that's not good anymore. I mean, that didn't age.
No.
Hunt the Wumpus, surprisingly
kinda,
random.
Yeah.
I thought there was probably some strategy there, but no.
No.
Also, speaking of Usenet, I started digging through Google has all the archives now, right?
Everything. It's all there.
Or all of it? Or
Yeah.
no?
No, there's no way they can have everything, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I thought they bought some archive. Like
They bought
not to say that
Easy
archive
News or
wasn't
somebody,
spotty,
right?
spotty to
Right,
begin
yeah.
with. But
no.
like, I
Easy
don't know
News
how.
is a current thing.
It's because I was reading arguments about The Last Jedi, and people were
Oh,
saying, yeah, well, we're not going to get into that, but the part of the discussion was like, oh, I bet when Empire Strikes Back came out, people were like baffled and put off by that too.
They were.
And it made me think, was rec.arts.sf.Star Wars around in 1980? And like I started going through the Google
God,
Groups
was it?
archive. I couldn't find it. I don't know.
No, I Usenet.
Like that's the thing. I mean, I was searching on an iPad, so I don't know if I didn't have like all the search tools at my disposal. But like, yeah,
Right.
I couldn't find a way to dig that far back into the archive of that group to see if I could find like the contemporary discussion
I mean,
of that thing.
Net News launched in '79.
Right, that's
so
what I came to.
Theoretically,
because the movie came out in 1980. No, it was 80.
80. Okay.
Yeah.
This is
So-
like December though.
So
right?
Usenet predates Empire Strikes Back by like less than a year.
but like the Usenet of the late '70s would have been pretty different,
Yeah,
and
that's
not
what I figured.
necessarily the newsgroup
Yeah.
format that it has today. I think I'm not positive.
Was it a BitNet thing then? Did you remember BitNet? Do you remember BitNet?
No, I was on World War IV net, but
Well, BitNet was a different like email system that wasn't the POP3 POP3
No.
yeah, SMTP stuff, not SMTP.
Weird.
Yeah, whatever
Yeah,
Simple Mail Transport Protocol. It was
Yeah.
weird. You had to use a different format for the address. It had parentheses instead of percent signs instead of ats.
that's some fucking genie ass shit.
It was
Some
weird.
CompuServe.
Well, no,
ass
this was another network. Like different universities used
Right.
this,
yeah.
and you could go through gateways to get email from one
like
side
pipe one to the other. Yeah,
it was weird.
Yeah, we had we eventually built a gateway, or we didn't build it. We like hooked up to our BBS, our World War IV BBS was hooked up to World War IV net, and then somewhere there was a gateway so you could send email from your piddly ass local BBS out to the proper
Yeah.
internet and back, and sometimes it would work.
Did you you Archie or Gopher?
Gopher.
Yeah.
I mean, you would have to use both.
Fuck
you know, here and
no.
there,
I mean,
right?
maybe,
You
I
would
guess,
Archie
but-
to find the Gopher.
Yeah, that's
I
usually
think, right?
usually the move.
Yeah.
Or you'd hit IRC and ask somebody and they'd be like, "Yeah, go to Archie and go to this place."
Yeah.
And then they'd tell you. Or they'd tell you to read the fucking fact more
Well,
realistically.
yeah. Part of my Oregon Trail quest led to me telnetting into a machine that was actually running like that, or something resembling that timeshare basic
Oh, man.
original version of Oregon Trail. But every time I tried to log in, it just said no time left and kicked me off.
That's the
was like,
yes,
yeah,
1992
all right.
internet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. That's weird.
We're old.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah.
Nah.
I've never felt better.
You know, my hip hurts.
Yeah.
Like I've reached the point where when I go to the doctor and I say something hurts, he's like, "Yeah, you're just old.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like I need to get a better doctor."
Yeah.
Find a guy who'll tell you what you want to hear.
Yeah, I want somebody who's going to be
No,
like, "Yeah, we can fix that."
Yeah, replace me with robot
Yeah.
stuff.
Here's your cyber leg.
Yeah.
We'll see. That Shadow of the Colossus remake is coming out on the or the 6th of February.
You mean the
Ooh.
HD remaster?
No, it's it's a full on like graphical remake.
Because they already
Oh.
did the HD remake.
Yes,
Yeah,
they
I
did a
bought that and
yeah.
it's still
Yes.
wrapped because I never opened it.
I also bought that, and I think it is also still
Yeah.
wrapped.
Well, great news, everyone. You don't have to open them because they're going to sell another one.
Yep.
Great.
It's even better.
Yep. Let's see.
I've still never finished that game. I
How
feel
is
bad
that one
about it.
better? And how is it really different from?
I think
I
it's,
have no idea.
I think it's
Yeah.
just graphics.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Yeah.
they're doing some things to it that I'm not aware of, but I think it's mostly just it looks way better.
I'm curious.
Gosh.
Monster Energy Supercross, the official video game.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right.
Now
It's a
you're
good tie-in
talking.
with Monster Hunter.
A certain magical virtual on.
Oh, right.
Is coming
Oh,
out.
yeah.
What's coming
Is
out on
that
the 15th of February?
Yeah.
Weird Japanese stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
anime virtual on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anime crossover
Yep.
virtual on
I can't.
game.
I don't know how to grapple with the fact that I know what that is when I read that.
Well, that's
And yet I do.
yeah.
Dynasty Warriors 9 also coming out on the same day. That Secret of Mana remake is coming out then.
Oh, right. Yeah,
yeah.
that thing. Yeah.
Did you guys like Owlboy?
Yes.
I never played it.
I think Elbow is really, really good.
Okay.
I didn't stick with it.
Yeah,
I didn't much care for it. It was okay.
Yeah, okay.
But
I thought it looked amazing, but I saw enough
I thought
people-
it had like everything that I wanted out of like an old 16-bit kind of Metroidvania kind of game, but like a lot of modern sensibilities added to it.
Okay.
Yeah, it was
Go back and
fantastic
take a look at
animation
that.
as well.
Yeah, it looks like that's coming out on console.
Yeah, it's finally hitting console, so more people can play it.
That Bayonetta double pack coming out
Cool.
in the middle of
Sounds good.
February for the Switch. Metal Gear Survive.
right?
What?
Coming out on the
New
20th.
Metal Gear? Hold on. I thought Kojima was making something about weird alien babies.
Swerved you again. New Metal Gear.
He's just
So
he's
confused.
just that good.
Yeah.
This new game's really just a Metal Gear game, isn't it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know what to make of that thing. I'm actually like dying to, as somebody who thought MGS5 played incredibly well. I'm super curious.
There's still
Yeah.
to
some
see what
like,
that thing is.
There's still some like 1% of 1% thing in my head saying that Death Stranding and all this stuff that's happening is just them making good on the fucking Moby Dick Studio stuff they tried to do last time.
Man.
Oh, yeah.
And just going like, oh, we'll get them next time. We'll figure it out. We'll do it right next time. We really fucked this up by wearing the t-shirts to that party. Our fucking secret lasted all of fucking 20 minutes.
Right.
Next time we'll get them. Like there's still some very, very extremely small part of me that is just like, I wonder if these fuckers are fucking at it again.
If this whole thing really was just a what's the term, a work?
Sure. Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
If this was that, I'll take back everything I've ever said about him. I will proclaim him the finest individual to ever take part in the medium if he could pull something like that off.
Yeah. I don't actually think that's the case, but there's still some small part of me that wants to believe it because I think that would be real.
That
like
would be great. Yeah.
that wants to believe it to the extent of like, no, make a bad Metal Gear game along the way because that would be part of it. Is to make a fucking like shitty fucking Metal Gear game in the middle of all this. Well, actually,
I haven't seen it
I don't
in
know.
so long that I'm not.
Yeah.
I mean, I know the basic pitch was it's like multiplayer or something.
It's
something,
conceptually
but
not what I want out of a Metal Gear game.
yeah.
100 Metal
That's why I
Gears
say
drop
it's
on an
shitty.
island.
Yeah, I'm
See,
not.
that would be more interesting than what they're.
I don't
what they actually seem to be
necessarily expect to like it. I just want to see what it is.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of fascinated that it exists.
I am very curious about it
Yeah.
for sure.
Got a good engine at their disposal.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's see. Sea of Thieves comes out in March,
Cool.
which is
I'm
exciting.
excited about that.
I am optimistic about that game. Yakuza 6 comes out the same day. That's March 20th. A Way Out comes out in March.
Oh right.
What's that one?
Yeah.
It's the Prison
Prison
Break,
Break. Yep.
Yeah.
co-op.
There we go.
Ooh.
Fuck the Oscars.
Yep.
Oh.
That guy. Okay.
Yeah.
Ni no Kuni 2.
Cool.
Far Cry 5.
Mm.
Valkyria Chronicles 4.
Yeah.
There's some stuff coming out in March.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some solid Q1 material.
What's Super Robot Wars X?
It's a new Super Robot Wars game. That's
Oh.
a super long running like. I guess it's like turn-based strategy
Yeah.
primarily,
Okay.
and it's all of the like mecha
Like Advanced
anime
Wars,
stuff
but with
thrown
mechas
together,
or
like
weird
Gundams
steampunk.
versus
Okay.
whatevers, right?
All your favorites are there.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
It gets pretty spotty from there in terms of dates.
That's usually
Sure.
how
Yeah.
these types of calendars work in the first week of the year. It's
the
like
stuff will get filled
Q1
in.
looks a little firm in spots, but past that,
Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection comes out in May.
all right.
I'll be getting out.
Let's see. All right, here's just a gigantic list of
Just a bucket list of like, hey, 2018.
Yes.
is
Yeah,
the time.
stuff with no date.
games
Wait,
in alphabetical order.
This Anno 1800, does it break the naming scheme for Anno games?
I don't know. What was the name?
Isn't the naming scheme, like, don't the numbers always add up to the same number?
Oh, do they? I don't know.
No, because the first two were like 1502 and 1503.
2205 is 9. Thank you.
Yes.
1503, 9.
1800
sorry,
is 9.
I'm sorry, it was 1602 and then 1503.
I mean, if
so
1800
that does add up.
So
to,
they always
yeah.
add up to 9.
800
So that means
1800 totally
1800
adds
adds up to 9.
Yes.
That, I think that's the last one. Like that's the last combination of numbers that they have available
Oh,
to them
wow.
that adds up to 9.
That's pretty amazing. Let's see. Ace Combat 7 supposedly coming
No,
out
because
this
they
year?
could do 3330.
Didn't they do that?
No.
That's pretty far future.
Oh, I'm sorry. Unless it was a spin-off. No, they have not done a.
Okay, so that may be the last one.
Yeah,
Also, wasn't the last one set in the future?
but they
Yeah,
could
it's
also
30
do 33
I think
and
they
33.
look. There are
03.
rules, man. There are rules.
What a weird thing.
Maybe it's that they're out of ones in the past after this one.
They could do 2061.
Yeah, they could do. That's also a Halley's Comet year, isn't it? Or is that 2063?
I don't know.
There was an Arthur.
You're right in that I should know this, but I don't.
It's 1985 and 76 years. Yeah, 2061 is the next one.
All right.
There we
Mark
go.
your calendars.
Nailed it.
All right, Ace Combat 7.
Okay. Yeah.
Anthem. You want to take bets on Anthem coming out this year?
I'm not holding my breath.
Anybody?
I bet it will.
You think so?
Yeah.
Hmm.
EA doesn't seem to be afraid to ship something, whether it's ready to be shipped or not.
Yeah.
Oof. Yikes.
And like, you would imagine that by the time we get to Q4, that will be like that is their tentpole game. If that slips out of the calendar year, then they're
I was gonna say EA definitely wants to ship a big thing.
Yeah.
In November.
Is there a new Battlefield coming out this year, presumably?
Presumably.
Or Battlefield.
Is it time?
One was last.
Are they on a 2-year cycle for Battlefield?
Well, Battlefront came out this year, so
Right,
Battlefield they would have a Battlefield.
Well, that's what I mean. We're 3 and 4, 2 years apart.
No, they had Hardline.
Hardline in the middle.
Oh right, I forgot about Hardline.
Everyone forgets about Hardline.
Sure.
There was some talk that I did not chase down to see if it had any validity to it, but there were people trying to claim that this year will be a Bad Company game.
Huh. Okay. That would be an interesting direction for them to go.
Yeah.
Co-op Bad Company game.
That would be cool.
Yeah, I mean, if they get the writing down in the campaign and all other stuff, but if you think about what Battlefield has been campaign-wise lately, it has been a non-factor.
Tutorial missions.
So that's what when I think of Bad Company, I think about those characters and that story and that thing.
Didn't people like the Battlefield 1 campaign? Well,
it was like a series of vignettes, though. It's not like a huge cohesive thing. It was almost a tutorial. In a lot of ways.
It taught you how to play the different factions, basically.
And it was good at that and looked good. So it had value there, but it was not a big, long story. I ended up on the Wikipedia page for Bad Company, the band, formed in Westminster, London in 1973.
Yeah, I like that their songs frequently involve the name of the band.
Mm-hmm. I think it might just be the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the only song I know, I think, by Bad Company.
That's the only one you need to know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bad companies out there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Crackdown?
Yeah.
That'll have to come out this year.
Yes, that surely will come out this year.
I feel like if it doesn't come out this year, it's not coming out.
Yeah.
Q1/Q2, according to Wikipedia, the source for all game release data.
Although, if it was that close, you would think it might have a firmer date by now.
Well, I mean, keep in mind that
they did delay it, so maybe they're playing it by year.
At this point, like, the way that game's been pushed off, like they're not going to announce a date until they are fucking fully locked the fuck in.
Sure.
They've blown it
and
too many
it's
times
available
now.
today.
Right.
I would like for that game to be good. I don't know.
Of course.
It looked, I don't know. Didn't look amazing at E3.
Yeah. Bloodstained, the Igarashi
Oh, yeah.
Castlevania type thing.
I played a little bit of that. It seemed pretty tight, like an okay one of those.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, it didn't necessarily jump out as like this is a cut above the other stuff that we've been seeing over the last few years. It just seemed like, okay, it's potentially solid game like that. A little more evocative of Symphony of the Night than a lot of the other kind of Metroidvania stuff coming out, like in terms of just
sounds good to me.
Enemy, like combat style and inventory and stuff like that.
Cool.
Finding new weapons, that type shit.
Yeah. Let's see. Darksiders 3. Supposed to be this year.
Fury one.
What's that?
I hope
Fury?
it's good.
Yeah, me too.
Is that you're playing Fury?
Yeah, I think so.
Was it War in the first one?
War
and
Death in the second one?
Yeah.
I haven't played the second one.
Second one was weird.
I remember it being very polarizing.
I think
the second one, like, it had color coded loot, and they kind of they went away from making a Dark Zelda,
slightly different game.
Yeah, a Dark Zelda with kind of action combat.
A Dark Zelda, but you had a portal gun at one point.
Yeah, that first one was so good.
Yeah, it's a cool fucking game.
Really?
Yeah.
Any of you play that Portal Bridge Constructor?
Yeah, that game's good.
I played a little bit of it, and it's like I
often fall asleep while playing it laying in bed. If that is, and I don't mean that but I fire that up if I'm laying in bed and kind of want to chill out.
Wait, what are you playing it on? In
my phone.
Oh, did they put out a phone?
Right. It is on phone.
Oh, I didn't know that.
The damning thing I would say about it is that after the first couple of levels, I started skipping all dialogue because, like, the GLaDOS stuff they wrote is not funny. It's just this super dry. Like, the Portal thing is not funny on its own in terms of just like, oh, it's a robot. Oh, they treat the workers like totally replaceable. Like, that's the joke.
It's real straight.
They have nothing else for it.
The GLaDOS Dota announcer is kind of the same way.
Yeah.
Like, it's not quite up to the level of the games.
I mean, you finish the first set of levels and they have a fucking quick cake joke, like that's the level they're working on of hey, remember Portal? Also, it's still a bridge constructor game.
But mechanically, it's like the Portal, having the portals mechanically makes it a much more interesting game than bridge constructor games. I like bridge constructor games a lot. Like, I play almost all of them that are any good, and it's a good twist. Yeah. Like, it's a weird fucking license.
Yeah, like the gameplay stuff makes sense.
Why
more so than any of the writing they did.
Yeah.
This says Dauntless is due out this year. That's the free to play,
Yeah.
like an indie.
Monster Hunter.
If Monster Hunter
style
doesn't
game.
pan out for you,
Yeah.
looks like they might
got
have.
that.
But like people are playing Dauntless now,
Yeah,
right?
it's in
like
alpha,
That is
like,
in some kind of
it was-
state.
They've
I
got
think you had to-
like a beta that you can like buy
Yeah,
into,
you have to
and
buy
they've been
into
running
it.
events
Yeah.
for it, and making some pretty significant changes.
Maybe this will be the year of Spy Party.
Oh God,
That showed up on Steam
that not
relatively
out yet?
recently.
Did it really?
No, it is not.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Oh, I bought that.
I
at
forgot
PAX,
about Spy Party.
2011 probably.
Yeah.
Like we played that
2012.
game in the Front Street office.
Mm.
Yeah, I remember Patrick.
Yeah.
When Patrick worked here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that would be cool. I would like to see where
That
that
game's
thing ended
fun.
up.
I
Yeah,
haven't
that
seen-
thing was neat. Days Gone and Detroit Become Human happen to be right next to each other on this list.
I think
Both-
it's alphabetized.
Both, well, I know that, but they both happen to be Sony games that have kind of felt like they were a long time coming,
Yeah.
and now they will come out this year.
Days Gone, I feel like they haven't necessarily shown it.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess it's
Detroit
more.
is in
Detroit
the
is the
position of
one-
just like they keep showing it.
Yeah, Detroit is the one where I feel like, man, how many different times can you
Yeah.
show this game?
Every
before you put it
additional
out?
showing somehow manages to push you slightly further away from the very idea of ever playing that game
Yeah.
or ever wanting to.
Days Gone is the zombie one.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the Sony Bend
I feel like
zombie
I've seen
game.
a lot of that.
Yeah,
just
they've
like
shown it.
extended gameplay
Yeah.
sessions
Never
of
seen that.
They've shown a decent amount of that too. Speaking of Sony exclusives that start with D, Dreams is on this
I'm
list.
really interested. This is the Media
Oh,
Molecule.
yeah, that's the
thing,
Media
right? I'm
Molecule,
so
like,
interested to see what
They just showed more of
sculpting
that.
thing?
Yeah.
they had a big stream or something, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, I didn't catch that stream.
It looks very open. It seems like you could do a lot with that tool set. Whether or not people will have the patience to do it. That's always the thing with like Little Big Planet. It was like, this is incredible. I'm happy to let other people go and make shit, and
Well,
I
it's
will
like-
occasionally try it out.
That's the way I play Mario Maker too, right?
Yeah.
Like it's infinite Mario.
Yeah.
I mean, Little Big Planet. I played so many of those Little Big Planet community levels because they
Mhm.
did a good job surfacing the good stuff.
Right.
Dragon Quest 11, anybody?
Yeah. Hear very good things.
Let's see. God of War. Speaking of Sony
Oh, yeah.
exclusives, I kind of forgot that was happening.
You missed
Right.
Fortnite in there.
Did I? I mean, I saw it.
You can buy into Fortnite right now.
That's true. Fortnite
Oh,
is
right.
playable.
They're
you
still-
don't even have to buy into it.
Well, if you
You
want to
just play
play
Yeah, if-
Fortnite,
yes, if you want to
you
play actual
do.
Fortnite.
If you want to play their battle royale thing,
Yeah.
that's free.
Yeah.
Which is still weird. That whole thing is so
Yeah.
strange.
I mean, just who's to say when they're going to proclaim it's out? You know, because
Yeah.
it's kind of already out.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's just a weird thing.
Yes, definitely. I mean, they're selling it on disc.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck does early access mean in 2018?
Did you guys decide what 2018 rules on early access are? Are you going to
I think that shit
draw
is
a
wide
line in the
open.
sand?
Any-
Anything
Okay.
goes at this
Yeah.
point because
Yeah.
what
Okay.
else can you do?
Yeah.
Right. In terms of like, because whatever, it's gone beyond the simple act of like charging money to now they're like pressing up discs and doing
Yeah.
all this other shit. Like, and meanwhile, shipping retail games continue to ship in more and more unfinished states.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
There's-
in a world where like when you look at the week one changes they made to stuff like Battlefront and Call of Duty this year,
Yeah.
you go like, oh, like 1.0 has never meant less than it does right now.
Yeah.
Just wait until the game, nobody's playing it, they shut off the servers and then review it.
Right.
That's when you give
There
it the
you go.
number.
Yeah. Finally, just in
Yeah.
retrospect, this was okay, I guess.
Yeah. This was fine.
Yeah. You should have played it,
2.5 stars.
but only for this 6-week period before they broke it, and
Yeah.
but after they fixed it, but before they broke it again.
It's a good rental.
Yeah. It was great.
This list says the words Kingdom Hearts 3 on it,
Okay.
But they're not ever, that's not a game.
but yeah, I'm not so
It's
sure.
not ever going to come out.
Not so sure about that. Mech Warrior 5. Anybody?
Looks neat.
Saw some footage of that looks
Yeah.
pretty good.
Is it
Yeah, I
VR?
haven't seen it yet.
I don't
I'm
know if
gonna
they've
I'm gonna
said.
say I'm gonna say probably.
It should
Yeah.
be.
If that thing's not VR, then why does VR exist?
Right.
Quite frankly. Let me check the Wikipedia page. Oh, this just links off to the MechWarrior franchise page. Never mind.
Yeah.
Mega Man 11.
That's what you get for trusting Wikipedia for video game information.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's the world's number
They're-
one
they're good at the hard-
database.
They're good at the hard data. They got numbers behind them. That's all they got. But they don't care about video games.
There's got to be a better
The
way.
World's number one database
Yeah.
game video games wiki, right?
That's-
That's right. I
We
heard.
are getting closer here. Well, I shouldn't speak for the engineering team, but the
Okay.
wiki changes are looking real fucking good.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So
I always wanted a wiki. I heard they were really cool.
Yeah, but what are you gonna do? Fill up a wiki with a bunch of phones and coffee pots?
Nobody wants that shit.
No one wants that.
Stuff changes every year. Like
Yeah.
who could
Yeah,
possibly keep
consumer
track?
product diversity now exceeds biodiversity.
Yeah.
Nobody wants.
Mm-mm.
Ugh. That is maybe the foulest statement that I've heard uttered in 2018. At
It's
least.
an Onion story from 1998
I don't-
about Crystal Pepsi.
All right, Mega Man 11.
Sure.
That
Yeah.
looks kind of cool. Maybe. Metro Exodus looks pretty damn good. I think.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm interested in that.
I've never really
Yeah.
gotten into
Yeah,
any of the Metro games.
same.
So I
Okay,
don't,
That one looks good
A
enough.
more accessible Metro sounds okay to me.
Yeah.
Let's see here. What else?
Shenmue 3.
What else is notable on this list? Wow, you just skipped right down there, huh?
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Quake Champions. Red Dead 2.
Quick Champions is a great
Is
game.
as out as
If
it's
you-
going to get.
If you
Right.
love menus and never actually playing a video game, might I recommend
Ooh.
Quake Champions?
Is it that bad?
Okay.
The last couple of times I have downloaded it, installed it, looked for a game, let it sit for a few minutes, like a few more minutes than you would wait for a
Ooh.
team deathmatch game.
Yeah.
And been like, okay,
That's a shame.
I guess
Nobody's playing.
no one's playing this.
Fuck.
That's a shame.
What am I looking?
Red Dead 2, though.
Yes, Red Dead Redemption 2 currently scheduled for Q2.
That's a holiday, right? Well, they do a lot of Q2.
Red Dead 1 came out in like May.
Yeah, it
April,
didn't-
May.
Yeah.
GTA was like late Q2, early Q3, wasn't it?
I
Yes.
don't remember when.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. 'Cause
Five?
I played in the summer, 5,
5?
I think.
I don't remember. Actually.
I'm excited about that.
Which so I'm loading up this SteamCharts.com Quake Champions graph, and it says that 726 people are playing it right now, which is around their 24-hour peak, I guess. But which is not a huge number, but like I said, I have not matched into a game the last few times I have tried. I have never matched into a game
Yikes.
since that thing got on Steam. I think I've played like 1 or 2 games.
I wonder if they have plans around new ways to revitalize that thing.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I just
Some big media push. And
just
Yeah.
doesn't seem like a thing that people necessarily actually wanted.
Red Dead 2 coming out this year.
Let's hope so.
Everybody.
Yeah.
They already skipped
Yeah,
this year,
yeah,
right?
this
They had to add the open world stuff from Zelda and the Battle Royale mode. So
course.
now that stuff will all be in. And
100 cowboys mosey onto an island.
God, can you imagine? It's just all Winchesters.
Yeah.
Sounds so good.
It's dark.
I'm ready to go. Give me a horse.
Yeah.
You could drive the tractors in Wildlands.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Oh my God, it was so. Yeah. Anyway, okay. Sorry.
Shenmue 3 is in fact on this list of games coming out in 2018.
Yeah.
I guess that's what they
just
said.
they just reiterated, I think, this week, like, hey, yep, we're still on track.
That's what they've been saying since the beginning, right? Like when they first
I believe
pitched
so.
it, they were saying 2018.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
that was
it's all a
Kickstarter was
blur.
2 years ago. No?
Yeah, something like
Or
that.
2016, 2015.
I think, will it be 3 years this E3?
Yeah,
I don't remember.
I think so.
Are they doing a PlayStation First thing with that, or is it?
I think it's both.
multiplayer? Okay.
I could be wrong.
Well, it's PC and PS4, so
right,
like,
that's what I
there's
meant.
no.
Yeah, I didn't mean both consoles.
No
I mean,
exclusive window.
I think
for
it's
either.
PC and PS4 at the same time.
Okay.
But
I would assume so. It seems like most of Sony's deals are structured in a way that allows for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Or at least the deals they were making then. I don't know.
yeah.
It's friendly for the developers.
Let's see what else is happening this year. Spider-Man, the Treyarch. Wait, not Treyarch. It's
Oh shit.
Insomniac.
sorry, not
Yeah.
Treyarch made the old Spider-Man games.
Yeah.
Yes, the Insomniac Spider-Man game,
Hmm.
which I thought looked pretty good.
Mhm.
at
It's
E3.
like it's great looking footage that like I'm not sure.
How is it's gonna play?
Yeah.
Right.
When I saw like a closed door played demo of it, and it
Yeah.
looked more like a video game. Like it almost, I might be wrong, but I think they may have like removed button prompts and stuff and UI from that press conference footage
Oh,
that was
sure.
in when
Yeah.
I was watching it, and I was like, okay, this looks like a game.
Yeah.
I think it's been a while.
Hmm.
But I also don't know if like Spider-Man game with button prompts showing up on screen and all this other stuff. You mean like QuickTime events?
There were definitely some QuickTime events for sure.
Yeah.
In some of that cinematic
Looking at footage, you just go like, yep.
But the standard general gameplay looked kind of Batman-esque in a good way, potentially.
All right.
State of Decay 2,
Oh,
like
Sure.
soon, according to this. That game looked fucking awesome at E3. I am super curious to play that. 'Cause that first game was like ambitious as hell and like kind of half-baked.
yeah. Them with time to
Yeah.
iron it out.
Looks like all the simulation systems are way better thought out, and this one's got multiplayer. Like it seems like it could be the one that realizes a lot of that stuff.
Hmm.
Cool.
New Super Meat Boy? Anybody? Super Meat Boy Forever?
Is that a new game or is that
Yeah,
like
it's
a
a new game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it
the
the
end of
same?
Nigh,
Is
or
it
the
Tom?
End is Nigh didn't do much.
Yeah,
for
the
me.
end is Nigh really didn't.
But the End is Nigh is
just
the
Edmund,
guy
right?
who is not on Team Meat anymore. So
Right.
like this.
But it's that style of game.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a
you're
minute.
right.
Is
Tommy not Tommy Refnez?
hang on.
That's his
Yeah,
name,
no,
right?
he is.
Tom Griffin is on Super
he
Meat
is
Boy
still,
forever.
Okay.
He is still doing Super Meat Boy. I
Yeah.
didn't
So
realize
it's Edmund
Edmund
McMillan.
McMillan has not.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I thought
Yeah,
they were.
he did the End is Nigh and
Yeah, he did. I thought they were
Yeah.
getting back together
And
for this,
Isaac.
but that's not what this says. I
Oh,
did not realize that.
Bummer.
Good to know. This says the System Shock reboot will be out this year.
yeah.
That would be cool.
We played like a really early like tech demo or alpha.
Yeah,
of
there was
that,
an
I think.
alpha build of that
And
out,
that
which I
looked
thought.
pretty awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty neat, and it looked really good. The Crew 2? Anyone?
Sure. I mean,
Yeah.
like when you consider the state of non-simulation driving games
Mhm.
in the last year or two and how like Need for Speed has just bungled it up so poorly, like the door is open for a great fun
arcade,
first driving game. Though also presumably we'll get a Forza Horizon this year too. So who
Where's
knows?
it going to be?
What's a
Sapienza.
What have they've done?
Rio.
What? They did what did they do? Colorado, Europe,
And
like
then
vague-
Australia.
vague Europe,
Brazil,
and
I think it
then-
might
and
have been
Australia.
France.
Was it?
I think it might have been
Okay.
specifically France, but I
Okay.
don't remember.
Germany, Italy. Yeah, Italy, German Alps driving. That would be fun.
Yeah, like Alps might be, but that's not necessarily like a good open world to drive around in.
I think you have like connectors. Yeah, I think you have like 2 areas on either side of the mountains in between.
Yeah, that probably works.
Or I mean,
Yeah.
you could also do like Rio and drive through. Maybe a
I
little.
think they've already done snow
They
as
do that?
DLC though,
Okay.
so they might have already
Yeah.
leaned into some of that stuff.
Will there be a predator there? Can
Yes.
I race against the predator?
Yes, you will race against the
I
predator.
want to do that. That
Yeah.
sounds good.
Here's a video game.
His car is invisible.
Toe Jam and Earl back in the groove.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
What's up with that?
Adult
Adult
Seemed all right
Swim?
from whatever.
Yeah, Adult Swim is publishing the
Ooh.
Toe Jam and Earl game.
Huh.
They
This was a
kickstarted
Kickstarter,
that
right?
thing.
Yeah.
And it seems promising.
Okay.
Also, it's hard.
Oh,
Like-
that's right. Those people did Doki Doki Universe.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Which
right.
was
so
neat.
so yeah, and also so they have put out a game recently.
Yeah.
So-
Well, I mean, that was a launch PS4
Well-
game. Recently is relative, I suppose. But
Since
okay.
old Toe Jam and
Fair
Earl,
enough.
they've
Yes.
put out games.
The hip hop element of that game looked real shitty.
Yeah, I could see
I
that.
was like
being-
listening to we wrote a rap for and here's Toe Jam rapping. I was like,
Is this the case of them having too much access to technology?
My
yeah.
name
Making-
is
making the
Toe
game
Jam, and
worse?
I'm here to say.
Right, yeah, like it
Like
kind of
the fact that they couldn't put lyrics
Yeah.
in the original games made them better.
yes.
Huh.
Yes.
All right.
The minute they like in that last Toe Jam and Earl game they put out on, I guess that was Xbox when that finally came out, right?
Yeah. Was that 3? I think
Yeah.
it was 3. Right?
3 is
Yeah.
a fucking bummer.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. 2 is a fucking bummer.
Yeah.
Anyway, the gameplay aspects of this look really cool, and I hope they nail the tone of it.
Yeah.
But the stuff I've seen of that looked not great.
Let's see. Not a whole lot left. We'll whip through a couple more. The No More Heroes sequel is supposed to come out this year on the Switch. Untitled Fire Emblem game and Untitled Yoshi game coming to the Switch.
Never a bad Yoshi game as far
Yeah.
as I'm concerned.
God damn it, man.
That's
That's
kind
it. It's
of
for
it.
like announced stuff.
That's kinda it.
Yeah, you know.
I mean, there's a lot of other smaller games on here, but obviously,
Right.
but
that's like a couple of first-party Nintendo games announced
Yeah.
and in the chamber, but I mean, I guess Metroid got announced without a date, so we don't necessarily know
Yeah.
if that's
It
going to
could
be
be.
this year or not.
it could
The
be.
Metroid Prime thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Code Vein looks good to me.
Right. Yeah.
Right. That's the God Eater.
It's
Style
that team.
kind of
It's
thing? Yeah, right.
kind of like an
Right.
anime Dark Souls.
I-
How about
I'm-
that?
Finally, an anime Dark Souls.
I'm really interested to see what Nintendo does. Like there've been so many releases on that thing this year.
Yeah.
It started out a little slow, and when I
Yeah.
loaded it up after Christmas to see what had come out since like
Yeah.
November when I looked at the store the last time, I was just shocked.
They were filling up
'Cause it's-
that
yeah.
library, yeah, for sure.
Hmm.
So it's a backfill for the most part, but
Yeah.
still.
Oh, you mean
it's
with
like,
games from other platforms?
Yeah.
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 Well, yeah, there's a lot of indie stuff,
Yeah.
but like I want to know, are they going to keep releasing like Splatoon? And I mean, Splatoon maybe isn't fair to say, but like Mario Kart style re-releases of Wii U games that nobody played because it only sold 5 million
Eventually,
units
but-
or whatever.
They might be running out as well. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I mean, on the one hand, I could see it. On the other hand, like how many of those games are as sure a bet as Mario Kart?
Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
Smash.
Bros.
Smash is a good one.
That's
Sure.
like the I think that's the last one that probably makes sense.
Yeah.
Is to reissue that game with some new characters.
Right.
Woolly World. You
Yeah,
know,
maybe.
Yeah.
But you start like we were talking about this earlier, and you mentioned what was it, Pikmin 3?
Pikmin
3 is the
3,
one that
yeah.
came out on the Wii U, and then like
Yeah.
Wonderful 101 people like a lot, but I don't know that those games would do gangbusters the way that like a Mario
If you brought
Kart
them out at
does.
an appropriate price, though,
Yeah,
I mean,
maybe.
like,
Yeah.
that's there's no downside there,
Yeah.
right? It's
Yeah.
like here's
Well,
here's
you know,
a finished game
They have
that
to
like
port it. Like,
was
there's
was like
some work.
Yeah, but it was like a finished game that was like well liked, but did not necessarily find an audience.
Yeah.
Like the
Captain
larger, more
Toad.
ravenous Switch audience. Yeah,
Yeah,
they
it's
should
probably
definitely make
it's
another
probably
Captain
it's
Toad.
probably
Yeah.
worth the very
fucking game.
very tiny minimal risk to do that
yeah,
work.
like I would that sort of stuff I think just makes sense in terms of just like, hey, we got these games that are locked up on the Wii U.
Yeah.
It
It would be cool.
people seem to really like the Switch. Wow, people really like the Switch, and while we are entering pre-production on our next set of really big games,
Yeah.
why don't we make Wonderful 101 happen?
Sure.
And let's do Smash and that sort of stuff.
I think I think they should put out Wind Waker HD.
Oh God, I Wind Waker.
That
I'd
would be
take
cool.
all those Zelda games,
Yeah.
HD re-releases.
Yeah.
I just even like I'd love to see them go back and do to Skyward Sword what they did to those last couple of dungeons in Wind Waker, where they kind of fixed if they fixed the opening of Skyward Sword, when that game opens up, it's really good.
if they took all of the motion control stuff out,
and
do you think
take
they could?
and take all the motion control stuff out of that, and like Galaxy and Galaxy 2,
Mm.
Super Mario Galaxy.
Well, I mean,
Oh, it'd
so,
be so
what
good.
they announced Galaxy for Shield
Right.
What?
Oh yeah, you didn't
In
see that
China.
stuff.
Yeah.
Super Mario Galaxy is coming to the Nvidia Shield
Yeah,
in China.
In China.
I thought it came out.
Or
didn't
maybe
it?
I don't
think
know
it-
that it's I don't know if
maybe
it's already
not.
out, but
I
yeah,
mean-
some of the Nintendo stuff is going to make its way to Android.
What the fuck is
means it will be
happening?
fucking, what China is happening.
Yeah.
Like the
I mean, I
Chinese
guess, yeah,
market is
it's like here's a billion
Yeah,
people
right?
that all like video games
Yeah.
and let's make money. Wow.
so that would then theoretically be a version of Galaxy with the motion stuff. Not that it was a major
There's nothing
factor
yeah,
anyway.
like the motion stuff could be a
but
button press.
Exactly. So there's already work being done to theoretically strip that stuff out.
I mean, like I'm less enthused about a bunch of Wii U ports for games that I played a few years ago because I have a Wii U hooked up to my TV still.
right.
I'm really excited about getting the games that were locked up behind shitty motion controls on the Wii back in a way that I can play them without because I can't. You can't hook a Wii up to your TV, can you? I mean, you can because you have a FrameMeister and all that other shit.
I
probably, but
don't have any of that shit. But no,
Do you have component? I think Norm
there's
bought
one component input on that thing. I think
either Gary's TV or Norm's TV doesn't have component
Huh.
anymore. So
Hmm.
like
shit. You might be right.
like there's going to be those games are inaccessible to me unless I guess I use the Wii's backwards compatibility shit.
Yeah.
Or Wii U.
Get you a dolphin bar. Yeah.
I have a Dolphin bar. I got that. I'm
Oh,
hooked up, ready to go,
This
man.
whole thing is
Anyway, yeah, weird.
Yeah.
2018.
Yeah.
huh?
That's
Feels like it's already done.
that's that.
What's coming out in 2019, Brad? Let's run down the
That's
list.
the
Yeah.
year to come and okay. What?
there is
Death Stranding.
Anthem will be out in
Yeah.
2019.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Yeah, so a Chinese Shield TV will have. Yeah, we covered this when it came out, but yeah, it's New Super Mario Bros. Wii, Twilight Princess, and Punch Out,
Oh wow.
and then they're gonna do
Wow.
Super Mario Galaxy, remastered in 1080p.
Wow.
Super Mario Galaxy running on Dolphin looks fucking great.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's
So
good.
yeah,
That's exciting.
it's that
Rogue
shit's nuts.
Squadron.
That shit is nuts.
Coming to
Yeah.
the Switch.
That's a very strange development.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember when people were all like, "Man, if only Nintendo was making games for other platforms." And Nintendo was like, "We hear you. We've been making games for phones and the Nvidia Shield. Thank you."
There
Yeah,
you
the
go.
platform I've always wanted my Nintendo games
No,
on.
this is not the thing.
Please look forward to it.
That Nvidia Shield's okay. It's an okay. Yeah.
It's
It's
a
good.
burly
I
machine.
like
No,
the one that I
I've got
had.
the Shield tablet, which is
Yeah.
a little bit different than the HG, just the regular Shield.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
It's very powerful. I like it a lot. It's really good. They've discontinued it though, the tablet version of it.
Oh, that sucks. So
It's
it's
a
just
bummer.
a set-top box now?
All right, let's read like 3 emails before we run out of time here. Bombcast at giantbomb.com. Okay,
Whoa.
Email.
There you go.
Brad.
that's right. Aaron from Houston.
Hi.
I gamed on a Mac when I was in junior high.
Sorry.
My library consisted of 5 games. How'd I do? Marathon,
Mm-hmm.
Marathon 2,
Yeah.
Bad Mojo, Sim Tower,
Okay.
and Sim Life.
No Dark Castle or whatever.
Sim Tower is really good.
He does say I had some Comanche helicopter game as well, but I'm blanking on the name.
Probably Comanche, I believe was the name of the Comanche helicopter game. The
voxel
one?
No, that was way.
Nova
That would
Logic?
have run on the old Mac.
Yeah,
He
you're
didn't
right.
spell it out, but yeah, is he talking about like an original Mac?
He's probably talking about like a Mac Micro Pro. What year did he say it
He
was?
doesn't
Didn't
say
give
at
a year.
all.
How old is his
I think
name?
it is to
What's
be.
his name?
I think it is to be inferred from the list of games. I mean, what did Marathon 2
Marathon
run
was
on?
after I was using. It was like OS 7 or something, right?
Yeah, probably.
Doom era. It was like 93, 94. Because it came out before Doom, didn't
so
it?
I had there was a period where I had not touched a Mac from basically like shortly after the release of Marathon 1 until let's say 2007.
Yeah, that seems right.
When I decided to buy a MacBook Pro for the fuck of it.
The hotness on like the late when I was in college, when I was a freshman, which was in fall of 93, spring of 94, the hotness for the Mac people on that floor were mostly like arcadey games. Like there was a kind of Asteroids clone that had
Yeah.
really nice graphics.
Right.
It was like 2D sprite based called fuck, I can't remember what it was called. I want to say it's Tempest, but that's not right.
There was Dark Tower, Dark Castle.
Yeah, people played Dark Castle.
Yeah, that was a big one. We played a lot of when I was working at a magazine in '94. We played a lot of. I think it was called Spectre VR, and it was a first-person game, not actually in VR.
A Q3 test hit on
Right.
Mac
Yeah,
before
yeah,
anybody else.
yeah.
But I think it only worked on the OS 10 Macs.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
No,
right.
that's not right. It only worked on
that would have been pre. It was like
yeah, it
only
was
Power
pre-
PC or
yeah,
something
it was,
like that.
It was Power PC because it was, yeah, it was when John Carmack started loving Next.
God, I was so angry when that thing came
I'm
out.
Sure, I bet there's Usenet posts.
Only Mac users could. Yeah, you should probably go dig them
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, I don't remember. I wish I could remember what the Maelstrom is what it was called.
Oh, okay.
That game that I loaded that up recently. That actually has aged really well because it has all sorts of interesting power ups and stuff, and they're all time limited, so it's really hard.
Yeah, I don't know. Mac games were always weird. Marathon
Yeah.
is really weird. Even
I never played Marathon.
yeah, it's weird.
Yeah,
Proto Halo.
I've kind of only seen it in passing. Okay. Road from Delaware. What are some of your favorite moments regarding importing games and playing them in a language you don't understand? Have you ever had an instance where you played a game before its localization and enjoyed it more than others who waited and played the English version?
I probably enjoyed Metal Gear Solid more when I didn't understand the story.
Huh. Okay. That's fair.
Like slightly.
I was also going to mention that game in Japanese, but the reason is because apparently we're talking about nothing but like mid-90s and college recollections today. But it was also my first exposure to some kid in my dorm had a modded PlayStation.
Oh, okay.
And not only that, but he downloaded the Japanese release in RAR form off an FTP and burned it and played it. It was my first exposure to
The
somebody
truly dark world.
Somebody downloading a game off of a thing on the internet, burning it to a physical disc, and putting it in a PlayStation and having it work. And
I knew a guy that had like a SNES copier.
Yeah, okay, actually,
so
you're
he
right.
had,
I
floppy
yes,
disks and
Sure.
I had run up against a Super Wildcard a few times, and
Yeah.
that's how I became acquainted with Tetris Battle Gaiden.
oh right, okay.
But something about watching him download and burn the new fucking Metal Gear game.
It's just like this is fucking like they're gonna kick down this door
Yeah,
any
totally,
fucking second,
totally.
man. What are we even doing?
And it was in Japanese, of course. It was
Right.
just the whole thing was just like so mysterious. It was just
Sure.
like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, I got my PlayStation modded when I made a visit to Sunnyvale down here in California. I was living in Wausau at the time, and brought my PlayStation with me. They modded it, sent me off with a couple of Hong Kong silvers.
Okay.
That was pretty awesome. But I imported Final Fantasy VII and played through that entire game in Japanese.
Wow.
And I think I've still got a notebook, just like, okay, this means fire. And then, I would make trips to the library because I didn't have the internet at the time. Not really. So, there was lots of Usenet stuff that I'd have to look up. And has anybody else played through this parts?
That's a heavy undertaking.
Yeah, I did it, though.
To get through that whole game.
I remember
And man, did I love showing that off to people.
Yeah.
I bet.
Oh, yeah.
God.
I had the Mega Drive version of Batman that Sunsoft made. It's a platformer, just kind of basic, like walk to the right and throw batarangs or whatever.
The Mega Drive one. Yeah.
And so that game, like EGM just fucking like covered the shit out of it. Like, look at this amazing
I feel like I remember that.
Batman game that's not in the US.
Yeah.
And so it drove the price to import it up, and to a point
yeah.
where I look back on it now and go like, were they colluding to fucking do this? Anyway, I ended up getting a hold of a copy of that at one point, and like, it's not amazing, but it was like cool to fucking have because it came in one of those tiny boxes that's only slightly larger than the cartridge itself. As just having a Mega Drive cartridge that was that size, like, man, this is nuts. Look at this thing; it's really wild. So getting exposed to that was really cool. But yeah, I don't know. It was, we started importing games for coverage purposes, and that to me was the most fun because it was like I had a budget to just buy random fucking video games sight unseen
without knowing what they are.
Yeah,
just see a name and
so
say
we would just drive down to like Games Etc. Whatever the place in or there's a place on Noriega here in town for a while that we would go to, but then also we would go down to Burlingame to whatever the hell that place was called.
if you see a game called a certain magical virtual on, you have to know what it is.
That's exactly what it was.
Buy it.
But
Yeah,
it was that layered with a factor of like, well, I'm gonna buy any fighting game because I'm me. So we, it's like, hey, let's get Groove On Fight and Advanced VG and all this other fucking weird shit. But then it was like, okay, well, we're not gonna buy any role playing games because none of us can read this shit. So it became like, okay, we're gonna get Capcom games because we know they're coming over here eventually. Capcom fucking hated it.
Yep.
Wow.
Capcom was fucking pissed. Like we were running import reviews at the time.
Okay.
And so they would come around and be like, "Hey, we've got Alpha 2," or we'd be like, "Fucking great!" Like the reviews on the site. Like all we would do is like, sometimes we would lower the score because enough time had passed to where like by the current standards, you were like, actually, this isn't as good as it was then.
Yeah.
But like it was just really just the same text again.
Yeah.
And so we would not preview like their US releases for fighting games. And they were so fucking mad about it. They're like, we really have a problem with you doing this. I'm like, well,
don't
fucking
release them fucking simultaneously.
then send us, like be better. Like, what the fuck do you want me to say?
It's a global world, man.
Yeah, it was the World Wide Web.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of like, here's some random driving game that we think we can wrap our mind around because we're idiots and can't read any of this stuff. So it was really, you had to be selective and go with your gut on like, we think we can probably play enough of this game to get some coverage out of it.
Like credibly have an opinion about this
but
thing we can't read.
There were definitely a few games that I got just thinking that like it was one type of game and just getting it back to the office and being like, oh fuck, I can't I can't even do anything with this.
Huh.
Let's see. I apologize if I mispronounce your name. Yuka, I believe, sent this email in. What's up with the new, maybe upcoming Unreal Tournament? I haven't heard anything about it since maybe sometime in 2015. Are they ever going to release it, or is it just way past time for that kind of game? Should they just make it a battle royale game now that those are all the rage until the next big thing?
They did.
Funny.
Yeah, so I had that same thought. I realized over the weekend that I still had the Epic launcher installed.
Oh wow!
And that's what led to me trying Fortnite again. Was like, oh, I've already got most of it installed. Let's just patch it up. And then because I wanted to see if they were still working on baseline Fortnite, because this battle royale thing had taken off so big, and it's all you see them talking about. And I was like, well, wait a minute, like they sold people on this as a completely different thing. Are the people who paid getting anything? And I went and looked, and there are patch notes for that side of the game. I don't know that I loaded it up and is like, this is still a mess in ways that like I understand even less now than I did at launch of Fortnite because some time has passed. And it seemed like there were still some people playing it. Like the chat was not as active as it was around the launch of Fortnite, but I still saw some people looking for games and chatting about fighting zombie, whatever the fuck you do.
I mean, presumably if they end up killing the MOBA-y kind of version of that game, or then they'll give people a bunch of battle royale costumes and points and stuff
at
like,
some
like
point
cosmetic shit.
Yeah, but I don't know that. I wonder if they would ever kill it or if they just merge it all together. Because
I mean, yeah,
it's not even necessarily MOBA. It's more like a horde mode because because Paragon's the MOBA.
Right.
And you don't see Epic talking about that as much, but it seems like that is still getting
people
updated.
Play that. I see people playing that a lot.
But like I still have that Unreal Tournament thing installed too. That has not been touched since June.
Ooh.
When did Battle Royale come out?
Yeah,
August,
September.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
Did you got an actual update in June?
Yeah, I think the last patch notes I read were from June.
Because wasn't their whole business model that they were going to like let people sell things for the game,
Yes.
like like mappers and stuff like that?
Yeah, and they did have some cosmetic items that went up and stuff like that. But and playing it, you're like, okay, like they're kind of making UT again. It's not a dramatic change. Like I want to say they had like more dramatic wall running movement stuff, like wall kicks and shit like that felt a little weird even as someone who liked UT.
Yeah.
But, you know, it was recognizable as another Unreal Tournament game, and I was kind of excited, and now it just seems completely dead, which I guess I understand why, like, hey, maybe the market's not there to continue this thing.
Between Lawbreakers and that and Quick Champions, like, it seems like maybe just people just don't want it.
So I wonder if they will ever shut that thing down or, you know, in favor of the Fortnite Battle Royale stuff or whatever. But, yeah, I don't know. That's strange.
We shall see.
Did it have Insta-Jib?
It had mutators.
No gravity, Insta-Jib.
I believe you definitely could.
That sounds okay.
That's all you need.
I mean, the whole point of that was, you know, it was one button click away from you also downloading the full Unreal Engine SDK. So it was the idea of just like, oh, I mean, you can kind of bolt that on yourself if you want. Yeah. It's all right here.
Weird.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Last email from Derek in Ottawa.
Hi, Derek.
All this PUBG talk has got me wondering, what's your favorite real-life chicken dinner? Is it homemade or from a restaurant? Is it a nugget or a strip? Is there a beer can involved? Do you even like chicken in the first place?
I love chicken.
Chicken's great.
Chicken it's got to be the most versatile meat, right?
Beef's beef. Yeah, beef gets around.
Yeah, I guess so.
Make chili. You can make steaks. You can make prime rib. You can make two different things from the same piece of beef.
Chicken can do a lot of the things that beef can do, though.
Yeah,
it's true.
Chicken's very neutral. Like
it's a good baseline. It's a good inoffensive, healthy baseline.
I like a chicken and dumplings. Like
chicken dumplings is good.
I haven't had one of those in a very long time.
Fantastic. My wife makes these panko encrusted like chicken strips.
Sounds pretty good.
Seasons so well.
Yeah.
Oh,
I like a high roast, the Thomas Keller high roast chicken. You put it in a Dutch oven, seal the Dutch oven, cook it at 500 degrees, and the skin gets all crispy and awesome.
We just been throwing chicken in the Instant Pot recently, and that works very well.
But that thing I got one of those for my wife for Christmas. Yeah, that thing is fucking magic.
I think I sold a couple of those.
Yeah,
around the holidays from babbling about it. Like those things are something.
Yeah, I wanted a pressure cooker for the last 10 years, and she wouldn't let me get one because she thinks it's basically a bomb. That's
I told my dad that we had one, and he like freaked out. He was like, "You gotta be careful with that thing. Like, don't you know?"
Yeah, I was like, "No, it's got technology. It's safe."
Yeah, this is the easy.
It's like Facebook.
This is the easy, cheap consumer pressure cooker.
Yeah.
But yeah, man,
I made soup beans in 45 minutes the other day from dry beans.
Yeah, it does stuff
really
like
good.
that. We made spaghetti in it the other day. It was amazing.
Yeah,
it's pretty awesome.
It's the best fast food chicken nuggets. Talk to me.
McDonald's. Has to be.
They're all white meat.
Yeah,
I'd only do 100 nugs from McDonald's.
Sure. Yeah, if you were eating in bulk, you would definitely go straight to the source.
Is that?
I like Wendy's nuggets.
Oh,
those are good.
Spicy ones.
Yeah, spicy Wendy's. They're good.
I like those tenders. Who is it that does the tenders? Is that McDonald's? No.
Chicken tenders. That's I mean, everyone kind of does some version of that now nowadays. Burger King.
Or they
talking about
fries.
Like
Burger
chicken
King
fries.
has a tender. Chicken fries are just a scam.
Well, you don't think
not
you
a lot
like
of chicken
tenders? Chicken fries?
Chicken fries is it's like they
shit
shouldn't be allowed to put the
ratio's a
word
little-
chicken in there.
The shit on the outside's the good stuff.
It is, but
Very
like,
good.
but it's literally fucking hollow inside. Put chicken there.
I call it a chicken straw.
Yeah.
And you're through the
If they had done that, then
Can I
just
drink?
suck up some ranch.
Can I drink chicken broth through the chicken straw?
Sounds great.
Oh, okay.
Ooh,
We should try
I'm
that.
calling the cops.
Griffin loves those. He calls them bok boks.
Nice.
That's good.
All right, bombcast@giantbomb.com. That's the email address. Welcome to 2018.
Hooray!
It's
The
good to be
future.
here. It's nice to be here. Thanks for popping in, Will.
Of course.
What
Hey,
you got going on?
there's a newish episode of the Foo Show out as of before the holiday about Total War Warhammer 2. Where we look at a bunch of little tiny units and make them really big, and it's fucking cool.
That sounds fun.
I want to check that out.
Al Bickham and Henry Hankin, I think, came in. Well, I recorded this in your suite at E3.
Right. Yeah.
That's what it
I
was.
squatted there and we talked about Warhammer.
You broke in during the day.
Yeah, I didn't tell anybody.
And did Warhammer stuff.
I did some Warhammer shit in there, and we talk about lizard men and greenskins and all that. It's really good.
Out of context, it was a very strange conversation.
I'm sure
I
it was.
had no
Yeah,
idea what you guys were
I
playing.
I had to pull some giggling in the background when I think Vinny or somebody was talking to the PR person that was there, and it was funny. But and then we have another episode featuring a guy at UCSF who makes DNA nanomachines. That's in like final post right now. And we do some powers of 10 shit where we start out in his lab and then we get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller until we end up on the lipid layer of a E. coli cell. And it's a real cool episode.
That sounds
cool.
Like a
We're
party.
selling
Super
literally
cool.
hundreds of copies of those. So I encourage you to check them out. They're very good.
Yeah.
They're real weird sometimes, but and then the Carl thing is still on Adult Swim every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
Is that going to continue past the football season, or is that kind of?
We're booked through Super Bowl right now,
Okay.
and we'll see what happens after that.
There's a lot of other sports out there.
I mean, I think
But does Carl like any other
Right.
sports? I don't know.
Carl has been surprisingly political, I would say. So I'm hoping, maybe he wants to make a shift. There's some openings on Fox News. I think we could maybe get him a seat there. I don't know.
Carl's the right level for that.
He's there's a world of opportunity in front of Carl.
Who knows what the future holds?
We got to get him to stop gambling though. He lost a foot. He does the 2-toe wager every week, and he keeps betting on the Giants. And the Giants have not had a good year.
I don't think the Giants ever have a good year. I don't know much about football, but I feel like that's
Eli took him to a couple Super Bowls, I think. But yeah,
it's a blur, man.
But anyway, they came and took his foot, and that was bad for him. But we'll see what happens. And Fleshy's still there every week, so he's great. He's a great add to the Carl-averse.
You just need to get hook that up to a Novint Falcon and put a tracking.
No.
What?
Look, Fleshy can fly. He's magic, man.
Okay, all right.
He
fair
doesn't.
enough.
He doesn't need a
tracking.
He doesn't need to be held down with a Novint Falcon.
Okay.
I guess I don't know. This has gone to weird places.
I don't want to visualize what's
It's Adult Swim
taking place
that
here.
Novint Falcon can do weird things if you put the right accessories on
It's
it.
got quite accurate thrusting engine included.
Yeah.
I don't even know what we're talking.
Teledildonics.
Get out of here.
Future.
It's the future.
Yeah,
it's still the future.
How we started tested 10 years ago.
We got to go. Thanks for listening. No after show today.
No,
guessing.
with Ben out,
And,
we wish him the best. He's on the mend still.
Yes.
Sounds like everything went well, and he's getting better. So we're gonna defer the after show until Ben is back in the building.
Okay, cool.
And then we're gonna fucking bring that shit at you, double barrels.
That's right. Right in the face. All right. Well, we'll be getting back up to speed around here.
Yeah.
And in New York as the week moves on, putting some stuff on the website.
Hell yeah.
As soon as we remember how. And then we'll see you back here next week for another Giant Bombcast. See you then. Bye.